We're streaming. Okay. So, welcome everyone to Fateless Legacies. This is our session 1 of the Aurora Punk campaign. A campaign that is, I would say, inspired by Treasure Planet. More the aesthetic, less the plot. Um, and yeah, we have all done our session zeros, which I will be releasing kind of randomly at different intervals whenever I kind of get around to editing them. But if you guys are watching this, if anybody is out there on our Twitch watching this right now, thanks for being here. I will let you know ahead of time. I'm not going to be interacting with the Twitch stream, and unfortunately, our manager, our social media manager, isn't available right now to do that for me either. So if you're typing in the stream, I will get to it as soon as I can, but no promises that I will talk to you at all. Or I'll actively ignore you, because that's what I do with most people who I talk to. I'm such a good bartender. Anyway, so last we left off, all of you had your own interactions with your characters. All of you had your own. Is that a snake?
Yeah, this is Nick's.
I love it.
What a great start. Let's go.
That's our pet snake. His name is Nix.
He's beautiful. I love his little face. Anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna do like a little bit of like mild advertisement throughout the stream, but for the most part, we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Anyway, yeah. So like I said, last time we left off, you all had your opportunities to start feeling your characters out, get into the mindset of your character. So I'd like all of you to start doing that right now. Start thinking how your character would think. Start feeling like your character would feel, and we're going to get into it. And we're
start talking like how our character would talk.
Yeah. With the voice and inflection that your character might have.
Oh my god.
Trinity. You have to.
I will also have, since they can see your nameplate light up, have you guys go around and just say your character's name. We're gonna go in order. I'm Dylan. I'm the narrator. I will be narrating our game. And we'll switch on over to Slade.
Hello, my name is Brandon. I will be playing Lyre, the Rhapsodist Infernal. Nice to meet you.
And going down to Teresa.
Teresa.
Teresa. God,
that's okay.
Damn it. I quit. I'm not the narrator anymore. Teddy, take over.
It's fine.
I'm just kidding.
I will be playing Percy Castor, she, her. She is a vigilante Auroran.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yep.
So my name is Trinity. I will be playing Cass, who is oh my god, I can't talk. Arcanist Auroran. And it's gonna be so much fun.
So much fun.
And I see we're saving the best for last. I'm Teddy, he, they, and I'm playing Nonagon, also he, they, who is a vigilante construct.
All right.
And I just want to say, I'm going to be bringing a character voice to you guys. I will not name names, but, someone here had a character voice in session 0 and might not have it in this session. And I just want to say, embrace mediocrity, be brave, have fun.
just roast as no salt, no shade, just all barbecue, all roast.
In all seriousness though, Trinity, if you really don't want to do a character voice and you're not comfortable with it, you don't have to. I just think it would be fun.
I legit thought you were about to be like if you don't want to do a character voice and you don't feel like it, then I don't respect your decision. And I think
no, my
what Teddy liked to say.
My pressure and my meanness has its limits. If Trinity truly is not comfortable with it, the most important thing is everyone's having fun. So
it's not even I'm not comfortable with it. I just didn't think it fit anymore.
I was about to say. I think realistically, the most important part is do you think your character would have this voice? And if your voice changes throughout the thing, Oh, it's cool. I might forget a character voice and do a completely different one for the next one.
Oh yeah, I put a lot of thought
I'm-
into Nonagon's voice, and I'm so excited for all of the fun little things I have planned for his voice.
And
Um,
I am
But yeah.
excited as well. So speaking of, we're actually going to start with Nonagon.
oh hi.
With the things that happened last time. So, Nonagon, you find yourself in this carriage. You do have a good while before the carriage is going to take off, before you're going to embark on your way to Tadalin and to Greater Tadalin City to embark on an even greater voyage. So you find yourself sitting here. You see passerbys just walking past the carriage. It is starting to get late, so there's the first sun has set over the mountains. The second sun is just burning bright overhead, just directly in the sky. It's that bright red glow that fills the sky with this kind of salmon pink with flecks of purple, and the huge celestial body that is hanging in the northern part of the sky. You know that red sun in the sky, that's where you're going to be going soon. You're going to be leaving this planet and going there towards great unknowns to hopefully make shitloads of money. Maybe. People walking by seem to be thinking the same things as they're looking up, having these same conversations, but they're doing it out loud with other people. But you're sitting alone in this carriage. Would you like to stay alone in this carriage?
I think that's probably safest. Try and just keep to myself, not really seek anyone out. The more people I talk to, the more concerned I think I would get about getting detected. And, I did steal somebody's passport. That's something I'd like to keep.
Yep.
Uh,
That
so
passport, as you you go, you check your belongings to make sure that you still have that, and you do. You do still have that passport. Did you ever attempt to read it, or did you even open the seal?
I did open the seal.
I remember. Yeah,
I did not fully successfully seal it back up. There was a little tear in the paper, so it was, if somebody's actually paying attention, they would notice that it had been opened before.
Right. So you kind of you thumbed it open. Looking at it, just like kind of gleaming it off. I want you to go ahead and make me a check really quick, just to see if you can discern what what is said on this. And you might not even have the points to appropriately do this, but I'm going to make you try to make a check anyway. So go ahead and make me a academics plus arcana check.
Oh boy. This is gonna be a straight roll.
Sweet.
7.
7. That's pretty good. You're looking at this. You don't know how to read arcane, but you do know that.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna leave it off after read.
You don't know how to read. Hey, what's up? My name's Nenagon. I don't know how old I am, and I don't fucking know how to read. So no, you can't read arcane script. It is a very specific. It's not actually a writing. It's more of like a imprint of like arcane residue. And you don't know how to read the Aurora in scripture within this. You do know that it does have a nameplate on it, and you probably need that. You probably need to at least know the name of the person that you have to pretend to be to get onto this ship using their passport.
Shit. Okay, so considering the fact that I can't really make heads or tails of that,
I mean, you might be able to fake it till you make it. You don't know, though.
Yeah, it'd probably be safer to safer to find somebody who can read it, but then at the same time, that's opening up questions of why can you not read this? This is your thing.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Okay, I'm gonna exit the carriage and I'm gonna look around and just see if there's somebody who looks smart but naive.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and make me a we'll call it an insight plus awareness check. As you look out, as you make the roll, I'll describe the scene. You step out from this carriage. Your boots kind of clunk against the hard crispy grass. It crunches underneath of your feet. A field of blue rolling hills surrounded by a dark, overcast forest. Many, many different flickering campfires throughout the grounds before you. It's clearly just a huge campsite. Directly behind you and behind the carriage that you just stepped out of is a massive tri-tree, sort of druid crafted into a treehouse hotel that's just stretching out into the sky, touching the clouds. It almost blankets the moon, the one of the many moons, as you are just looking around, scanning the horizon. You can see different lights flicking, and a lot of people are heading into this building.
Okay. Well, I did like a really good job on that roll. So I got a 17.
Wow. Okay. You look around
Yeah.
and immediately see a child alone wearing scholarly robes heading inside of the treehouse. First thing you see.
Ooh. Children are scary though. Yeah, fine. All right. I'll kind of like start walking towards the treehouse and kind of like match my pace to the kids so it doesn't really look like I intentionally sought this kid out, but like I'm just casually walking beside them, like
Like following a child, like you do.
Yeah.
I don't want it to look like I'm targeting a child for anything.
But you are.
Okay. So you're going to begin targeting a child. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Oh, let me leave that note. Okay, we're going to move down to actually both of you, Percy and Liar. You're both together right now. You see each other from across the bar. Percy just flipped a coin into Liar's like little
Someone else's hat
someone else
that I stole. Yeah.
So we're actually going to really quick. Liar, give me a brief recap of what you recall from last time.
I met a scholarly rival whose name eludes me right now.
His name
But
is Christabel Durgis.
Durgis.
You're talking
Okay.
about the guy who hated you.
Yeah.
Remember Dirtbag Durgis.
Dirtbag Durgis. And then I met with the council who said I was doing a great job at whatever work I actually do. And so they've tasked me with accompanying, either just through note-taking and or kind of supporting the crew and Bardley-like things for this expedition.
Yeah.
And then I went to a bar immediately and started performing just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Okay, Percy, give me a recap of what you recall.
I was being chased through the city that we're in, and I ended up in this seedy bar. I went to my friend, or at least contact Wit, and told them that I need a passport, and Wit was able to secure one for me by way of basically letting me steal it before they killed the guy I belonged to, pretty violently and terrifyingly, and on my way out I met Liar.
You did. So on your way out, you caught the Emberkin playing this performance. That like image of Wit murdering this person and drinking their blood. Like, why would Wit do that? That just doesn't seem like something Wit would have done. And like, even if Wit would have done it, why have done it in front of you? But you're left with just all of this pondering as you hear the song being played by this bard. You don't stay though, right? You don't stay hanging around the bard. You keep going, or do you engage the bard?
I'd like to get as far away as possible from the scene that I just left. I think I find it intriguing. The music is good. The bard is interesting looking. Doesn't look like the rest of the townsfolk, but I'm definitely not interested in staying around my friend who is apparently transformed into some sort of horrible vampire creature.
So go ahead and Liar, make me a awareness insight check as well.
8 on the die. And no awareness. Do I have insight? Where is that?
Completely unaware of just
Insight's
anything,
under
really.
social, and insight is under social. It might be instinct.
Nah, I have no. Oh well, I have no insight.
No, none. Okay.
So 8. 8 total.
8. This person who just tossed money into your account, they have worry in their eyes, but that's all you glean. And they exit. They have an air of destiny about them. It's
Or they just smell like whiskey.
it's very weird, the feeling that comes from them exiting.
I'll maybe take a note in my mind of what they look like, but to be honest, I don't know if that would
That's okay.
deter me from performing or finishing whatever song I'm doing.
Yeah, you finish off your performance. Go ahead and make me a we'll just call it another instrument plus performance check. Or you're performing with an instrument, right?
Yeah, liar. Yeah.
Instrument. I'll go ahead and give you an extra. So roll twice and take the higher of the two outcomes.
I already rolled a 10.
Oh, nice. Then you don't need to roll again. Roll an 8.
7. So 17.
With pluses
And no, I don't think I have any.
to performance.
Oh, performance, yes, that's another 7, so that would be 24.
Jesus Christ. Percy, as you leave the halls of this place, the doors, swing open behind you as you frantically exit this building. You hear probably the best performance you have ever heard in your life happening behind you. The crowd goes from like murmuring drunkenly to each other to complete stunned silence as what genre of music are you playing? And
I was gonna say, I'm playing Cotton Eye Joe.
The best rendition of what are you playing? Is it Cotton Eye Joe?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus. I think she would find it funny. She'd be intrigued. She might turn around and like try and kind of watch through the window if there is one. Or through like a crack in the door. I don't know if she feels confident enough to go right back into the bar yet.
That's totally fair. You can see this bar just going crazy. These noises shouldn't be coming from the instrument that is being played, but somehow they are managing to almost play this lyre like it's a violin. It's very strange, but it sounds incredible.
Okay.
The lyre also seems to be plucking strings of its own without the musician actually plucking them. Like the musician's still going crazy, but the strings itself, they're some of them are plucking themselves. Yeah.
Am I aware that this person who just ran out is now peering through the cracks of the windows in the bar?
With your role, yeah, you can see them look back in through the window. You can also
at the end of my performance, I'm gonna point out to that person like, yeah, past the outside the bar or whatever.
Directly pointed directly at you. The night continues on. Things progress. People buy you drinks. You are also gifted more money.
Yay!
And we're gonna go ahead.
Gotta buy that airship.
Yep. One of these days.
You'll get there one day.
20 gem shards.
Nice.
Yeah. I will also give you, for the rest of the night, with that high of a roll and that good of a performance check, I will give you that anytime you make, for the rest of this scene, instrument plus performance check, you get to roll with that 27. So if you continue doing that,
Okay,
I'll
cool.
let you keep that. Okay. After the performance plays out, the crowd just kind of encircles Lyre. You can no longer see the Emberkin who was on stage. They're just surrounded by people. So, Percy, where are you going next? Are you going to wherever you call home to sleep the night away and eventually get onto your voyage? Or
Yeah, I don't know where Percy has been staying, but I think she'd probably try and get a little bit of sleep before she leaves, and also just kind of wants to get away from the scene, but definitely has taken note of the musician.
Yeah, fair enough. You go, you find your dwellings wherever those may be. Perhaps at some hostel that you frequent. You just toss coin or you just toss gems and walk in and take a random bed or cot, sleep in it, and wake up the next day. Or if you have a place that you actually do call home. There are
Not here, I don't think.
There are places that allow people to sleep for like a service, like a bouncer or something along those lines. Or if you work at like a fight club and you fight there, they would let you probably sleep there as well if you do well enough.
That sounds like a lot of work. I think she'd just go to the dirt cheapest place she could find.
Fair. With that being the case, then subtract 2 gem shards from your allotment, and you sleep. Liar, are you drinking?
Probably.
Oh yeah. I thought so. Are you immune to poison, or resistant to? Are you resistant to or immune?
I'm resistant to fire.
Fire, nice. Poison is definitely not fire. So go ahead and make me a. We're gonna just physical plus fortitude check.
Okay, that's an 8 on the die. And then I have no physical and no fortitude, so 8.
8. That's pretty good. How much are you drinking? You've
Whoever buys me a drink, I'll probably drink it.
Okay, nice. Then yeah, you get shit-faced. Not like hungover, blackout, can't wake up the next day drunk, but you get pretty damn so drunk that like things are blurry, you stumble,
Sure.
The whole room blurs in one direction or another. And you wake up on the floor. The floor's cold. You hear water dripping around you, the sound of occasional like piston hisses. You're not sure where you are though. And we will move on down to Cass. But first, I'm going to use the bathroom, and I will be right back.
Thank God my voice wasn't ready.
Trinity, while I am in the bathroom, go ahead and give a recap of what you remember from the last session.
Okay, so basically Cass was in a little castle, and he was with a guy named Kane, and Kane gave him letters to go out and pass out to everybody in the castle who was going to be on the ship. Cass sucks at reading, apparently, so he had a hard time getting these letters out. He got one to the chef, and the chef was pretty okay, not like the friendliest person ever, but she did give him a treat so he could take it to his favorite person, Dr. Calloway. And Dr. Calloway hates his guts and didn't want him on the ship, so she wrote a nasty letter to Kane about Cass.
All right.
And yeah, that's about it. You just
And what's your voice?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it? Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Do you have a plan, or?
I'm gonna mute myself.
Just go out of the gate screaming, and then they can't really tell what accent you're using, you know?
Well,
If you scream loud enough.
I do think that might be bad ear sounds, though.
it might be
Sure,
bad
no,
audio,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe just like mute yourself and just scream wordlessly.
I did.
Doesn't matter what your character voice is.
No, like I was muted, but on my mic, you just couldn't see it on here. I was muted. No, y'all been hyping this up so much. I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
I've returned.
Oh.
If you couldn't tell by me returning, by the
Sure, yeah.
visual.
Hey, do you guys know when Dylan's gonna be back?
I don't think he's
No.
back yet.
No, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's not coming back.
We're gonna run the game by ourselves, y'all.
Hey guys, if Dylan isn't back in 15 minutes, we can legally take over the stream.
No gods, no dungeon masters.
No gods, no. I want that as a T-shirt.
Honestly.
I think a game with no dungeon master. There's got to be a tabletop game that
Oh,
exists with
100%
no-
there's a tabletop game for it.
The
I I've
Quiet
never
Year
played
doesn't
one.
have one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a weird one.
Quiet Year. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
writing that down.
Yeah. No, y'all just keep talking. Just go ahead.
We're
not
not
gonna
this
stall
the
for
kind
you.
of thing you kind of work through before we start streaming.
I've been thinking about it literally all day.
And now is your time to
Oh
be-
god, I'm eating myself goodbye.
Cass, you awaken. The normal sleeping quarters that you are assigned, that you're given basically free access to. You find yourself just awakening there. You look up. Hang on. Hang on. Teresa, I am double streaming through your, and it's gone. Okay, never mind. We're good. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just all good. All good. Yeah. You open your eyes. You see the same underneath of the bunk bed above you, and you look around and you can see other beds all over the inside of this kind of sleeping barracks. You don't have your own room quarters. How late did you stay up? Or did you just go to bed as soon as you were done with the request that you had fulfilled?
I probably went to bed like as soon as I was done.
Okay. Then you awaken pretty early in the morning. You can see other people starting to stir, going about their business, many of them going on the very same mission that you are about to go on, which is roughly a 2-year-long mission to travel to unknown destinations across many, many thousands, millions of miles of dead space. You know that you're going to be gone for a very long time. You have roughly an hour to do any last things you want to do on this planet, in this town, before you leave. Is there any last things that you want to do before you are gone for 2 years minimum?
Honestly, I feel like Cass doesn't have that many connections to anything here. I mean, everyone that he likes is also going on the ship.
Okay.
But he'd probably take extra care to, tuck in the corners of the bed, make it up real nice, pack his stuff a little more gingerly than normal, and just take a look around, walk around the castle for a second, just.
Yeah. You walk around this castle, same thing that you've seen hundreds of times, but you're looking at it through somewhat of a different perspective, through a perspective of this may be the last time you ever look at this place. And you really catch the beauty in it, the detail that people put into certain parts of this building, that things that you didn't notice before, or at the very least took advantage of. The stained glass walls are imported from lands of just a different type of beauty than what you're used to, and now you're finally seeing it next to the Asrian glasswork, next to the Taydalan architecture. These kinds of things that you didn't notice before. You're really taking into note. This is nice. It's beautiful here, and you're going to be leaving. And then you do. You pack your bags, you get up, and you meet where everybody else is meeting to be debriefed by Captain Kane, the soon-to-be captain of the Alciel Voyager. Before we finish with that, though, give you a little bit more time to think about to think about things. We're going to jump back up to Nonagon, and Nonagon. You find yourself sneaking, sort of. I wouldn't say sneaking, just kind of like not being so obvious about what you're trying to do towards this place. You know that it's called the Three Trees Crossing, or Seraph's Scent is another thing that people have been calling it. You find yourself before the aperture, the kind of foyer of this, which is a spiral staircase made out of druid craft wood that just kind of almost naturally forms itself to spiral up this massive tree trunk. And you can see the tail, the tail of this kid's sort of long flowing wizard gown as he continues up the stairs. Do you follow?
Well, now if he's going up the stairs, it's. I feel like I'd have a lot more trouble being like inconspicuously.
You could stop him
Like-
before he gets all
like,
the way
okay.
up the stairs, but you know that like the stairwell's pretty open. People would see you. You might be able to find a more stealthy way to engage this person when you get up there, but you don't know what's beyond the stairs, what the staircase
Yeah.
will lead to.
I think I'm just gonna kind of hang behind for a hot second, still kind of following, but like making it look like I'm just making my own way up the stairs. I'm supposed to be here.
Make me.
I'm not following a wizard child.
Make me a
It's
manipulation
okay.
plus performance check.
Blah. All right, heard. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's not bad. That's just a straight 6.
Okay. The child. You know what? I'm gonna give the child a roll. The child has no pluses.
Guys, this child is gonna be the big bad of this whole campaign, I think. That's
Because
how
of you,
scared
because
that's
of
how that's how scared I am of this child, like accusing me of being a creep or something. Like
So you do notice as you're going up, the kid does drop something and look, grabs the thing and looks up at you, and then says, "Oh, so sorry," and then continues going back up the stairs as if the child was sorry for inconveniencing you, meaning this kid had no idea that you were behind him and still probably doesn't know that you're behind him. Kid doesn't know that you're following, and you realize it. You get to the top of this place where this room opens up into the walls are made of twisting branches overlapping each other of many different types of wood. It's this kind of like cacophony of druid engineering. The windows are gorgeous, kind of oval balls floating in an empty frame that you can see through perfectly, and they kind of shed a prismatic light across the room. Everything in here kind of sets this tone of awe, but also serenity and peace. To your right, you can see a bunch of different stairways that lead through overlapping tree-framed doors, just stairways that lead up into random directions. Directly in front of you is a bar with a desk with just a row and rows and rows and rows of different types of liquor, and the bar is shaped kind of like an L. The L half seems to be concocting potions or some kind of what's the word? Like a coffee craft kind of situation, but also potions and different types of alchemy and herbal components. And then on the other side, directly in front of you, is what seems to be the front desk as well as the bar. A couple people are sitting at it. To your left, it is a open lounge with a bunch of these large hookahs sitting at each of the random tables, and people sitting all around having conversations with one another. And there's a couple of people who are just kind of playing some kind of game. The kid runs up to the bar, hops up on top of one of the bar stools, and tries to order a drink. But you can't really hear what they're saying. What are you doing?
you love that. I'm gonna also approach the bar, semi close to the kid, but not like I'm just trying to talk to him, still trying to remain casual.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just listen in on his conversation, see if there's an opening for me to kind of get a foot in. Maybe if he's trying to order a drink, I can be like, "Hey, you're not supposed to order a drink, but if you don't tell, I won't tell. I'll order a drink and let you have some of mine." Something like that.
Okay.
And then Chris
Just as an
Hansen comes
aside-
out.
Yeah, if we were worried about you being creepy before, it's gotten way worse.
Yeah, it's gotten way worse.
Gotcha. Okay, so you walk up, you sit down. Now your clothes, they're relatively fashionable, right? Like you're wearing pretty like high fashion attire, aren't you?
I suppose if what I designed is considered high fashion, then I guess so. If that's the case, I can imagine Nonagon probably didn't have an opportunity to find anything necessarily more incognito before he left.
Right.
But that
Maybe not high fashion. Just it is fashionable in a certain part of the world. That style of like attire. So you might be assumed to be from there based on what you're wearing.
Mhm.
But you may not know where that is, or why you're wearing these clothes, or why you like them so much. But it's because they're a fashion statement in a different location, or somewhat similar to that. Anyway, as you're sitting down, you see the person behind the bar. There's only one attending to all of these different things, walking back and forth from different places. And this place is packed. It's so busy, but there's literally only one worker in the entire. It looks like the entire hotel. There's just one person.
Jesus.
Um,
I hope that's a serious workers' rights violation.
Big Alosha.
Yeah.
this person approaches you. They have kind of like a sandy brown hair, short, messy with bangs, and two antler-like horns that go up and around their head and branch out around, kind of like a crown holding the back of their head. They have long, pointed ears, and they are covered in these sort of mint green runes and tattoos. They go all the way up to their fingers. Um, this person, they're wearing what appears to be kind of like a frock white shirt, but it's stained and covered in like different coffee stains, and a brown leather apron that's just full of just random utensils and equipments. They walk up to you.
No, no,
After a
yeah.
while, they're clearly dealing with
Yeah.
these people, and then they walk over.
Nonagon was definitely spending that whole time attempting to avoid eye contact. But,
um,
doesn't always work.
yeah, nope. The kid looks kind of nervous. Uh, do you want to inspect the kid, or you're trying to avoid looking at this kid?
I'm mostly just I was trying to like listen in, if at any point the kid was trying to like, you know, any opening in the conversation the kid might have been having, because I know you said he was trying to do something,
Right.
but
So he looks like he's just waiting on the person to come around to him. So like after a little while, the
okay.
the bartender walks around and kind of addresses you guys. The bartender leans in and just kind of eyes the kid up and down and says, "You don't have to be so nervous. You're out of any kind of jurisdiction. As long as you ask me for something lower on the potency scale, I think I can make something work for you." And the kid just sort of startles. "Oh, well, maybe some amber wine? I think I can make that happen." And then his eyes just kind of dart over in your direction. "And you? What are you up to?"
Uh, well, I'm just trying to trying to wait for my carriage to be ready to move on.
"And what a place to be waiting. Welcome to Seraph's Scent. I could make you espresso, keep you up while you wait, so you don't fall asleep. Would that be to your liking?"
I suppose so. I don't know if I've ever just had straight espresso, but if it works, it works, I guess.
I mean, if you'd like tea instead, perhaps tea from the Ashen Mountains? Would that be?
Yeah, tea would be. No, 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 no. Let's go with the espresso. Let's go with the espresso. I'm trying to try new things.
They are fresh, the beans. From Srihari. They are very good. The best of the best. At least the best I could get. And he turns on you. This person's face looks very young, like maybe 17, but their eyes look ancient. Just thousands of years behind these eyes, and you can feel it. As this person's eyes are made contact with you, you felt a pressure. The eyes left you, that pressure just washed away. Um, they go back, They fix up stuff and they return to you. Hand the amber to the kid. The kid starts to like sip at it and coughs a little bit, then continues sipping. Looks to you. You're looking for something. He slides the coffee to you. Something that you don't have. What is
Oh,
it?
well, aren't we all looking for something we don't have in life? That's kind of a common thing to do. Love, money, power, fame.
You'll
You know,
find,
and I'm not special.
you'll find yourself poor if that's all you're looking for. I might be able to help you with what you're looking for, so long as you make right any wrongs you've done. He looks into you with this deep intensity, like reading your very soul.
Is this Chris Hansen?
Nonagon is trying their absolute hardest to keep like a straight face, but underneath the bar, his hands are just like clenched together. I
Come
don't
back to
really
me
know
before
what
your-
you're meaning.
Come back to me before your carriage leaves, and undo the wrongs you've done, and I'll help you. Until then, enjoy the coffee. He wheels away and goes and helps other guests. He does not return to you.
See, this is the kind of barista I wish I was. Just reading people's souls.
I don't want
Someone out there, you are that barista.
I don't want to see that shit that comes. You know, like absolutely no judgment to my customers. Like they are what keeps me fed, but I don't want to know more about them than I have to.
Hello, little snake.
Hello, Snake.
Snack.
Hello, Nick.
Little snack.
Okay.
We're going to cut away from you. I will just ask. You don't need to role play it out. Do you try to return the badge, or do you keep the badge that you currently have?
I
You know-
think that Nonagon attempts his absolute best to find a way to comfortably be in a position with the stolen badge that he feels like he is able to get onto the ship. It's hard to explain exactly what his process is, but if they can find a way to keep the badge that they stole while feeling comfortable in their ability to get onto the ship without any hiccups, they will not take that person up on their offer.
Okay.
However, if like his alternate plan of trying to like find somebody to read this for him without raising any alarms ends up not panning out, he'll take the L.
Okay, so I'll give you three choices. You have one choice, like three checks to make. So I'll give you three checks. One check will be a social plus manipulation check, which will just be to manipulate the kid into reading the thing for you. That one won't be particularly hard. I'd say that's like of moderate difficulty. Or you could go and try and listen in on the two Dverger, the ones that you stole this from in the first place. You can go in and try and listen in on their conversation and see if you can't pick up any more info from the two. And that one will be a stealth plus awareness check. Your third option is trying to sleight of hand it back into, and this third option remains on the table until your carriage leaves. So if you fail the first check, and I'm not going to give you the option to make both, you only have time to do two of these things. So you can either try and listen in, you can either try and sleight of hand the thing back into the pocket, or you can convince the kid to read it to you.
Well, I can actually already cross off listening in on them because I think we established in session 0 that he did not understand their language.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
So,
still an option.
we're-
It was still on the table. You could still
Yeah. So first is gonna try and get this kid to read it for him.
Okay.
So let's just see how that goes.
And that'll be social plus
Ooh.
manipulation check.
Ooh, baby. What is that? Ooh, baby! Hold on, sorry, I gotta roll a third dice.
Oh, 10.
Oh,
8,
damn it, so close.
just all maxed
10,
out.
18. 18 plus 5, 2, 3, 23.
20. Jesus Christ. You muster the charisma and just suave, devilish, like, nature that person at the bar was emanating, and you try to emulate that. You just kind of embrace, like, I'm gonna trick this kid into telling me how to read it. Like you think it and then you make it a reality. It happens. You just tell the kid to read this, and the kid, who's kind of a little tipsy at this point, does, and then you know what it says. And that is. Oh no. I thought I was prepared. I was.
The letter
There.
says, "Oh no."
Oh, it just says, "Oh no." No. There it is. Grine. Grien. Of Blunt Mining Corp. So just GRIEN of Blunt Mining Corp. And that is all that kid tells you that it says. And then you return to your carriage, you sleep, the carriage eventually starts taking off, and you awaken. Now, all of you have woken up in the prospective places that you've been. That you fell asleep in, the locations that you would have maybe called home, or in Lyre's case, a random place that you've never been before. Or in Nonagon's case, the back of a carriage. But for the most part, familiar locations, at the very least, comfortable locations. You know that today may be your last day on this planet. There's a chance that you won't return. There's a chance that the ship explodes in the air. There are so many things that could go wrong or right, making you never want to come back to this planet, or at the very least, this country. The last things that you want to do before you leave, Lyre, what are those? As you're waking up, head kind of throbbing, you're still a little dizzy, looking around at this random room that you've never been in, pistons hissing and whirring.
I'm gonna take out Lyre. Man, I don't know if I've ever actually named him. I'll take out my Lyre and ask him,
I did not catch that. What was it?
do you have any idea where we are?
Well, last night. Hang on. What was the voice I did? Oh, it was French. Last night we had a bit of a debauchery. You had a good time while I sat in your case, as usual. I gave you the best performance, I would say, that you have ever played, and then you said, "Oh, thank you," and then you just stuffed me back in my case, and then you went on to have a great time. Noises and drinks and then you ended up, I think, falling down the stairs. Don't know where. Like I said, I was in your case.
Sure.
And then you stopped moving. There was a chance you were dead. Unfortunately for me, you have awoken. Here, in, I think, the basement of the bar you were in before.
Okay, so just like last Wednesday. Okay. Make my way up the stairs again. I fell down and kind of creak the door open, see what the kind of scene's like right now, if I can kind of just meander my way out. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just walk out. You open the front door, and you hear this sort of metallic ting noise, and then suddenly lights start flashing. The whole room starts erupting with Aurora, and you can hear just constant pinging noises coming from.
Okay, I'm running.
Okay. Just fucking dip.
Just booking it out of there.
Are you going to the lift that will take you?
I believe I'm supposed to be at a place today, some point to check in my luggage at least or something. So yeah, I'm gonna head there.
Okay. You're heading to the right place. Percy, you've awoken in your the cheapest place you could find, which was a hostel in a basement mildly flooded in the bottom. You did manage to procure a top bunk, mostly because the person who was already on the top bunk didn't want to argue with a person twice his size, so he just decided to crawl down onto the bottom bunk. So you are on the top bunk in this mold-smelling room. You are the first to awaken of all of the other patrons of this fine establishment.
She doesn't really have any attachment to this town or planet, as it were. She'd probably, I guess she enjoys the ocean. She might go sit by the water for a little bit, trying to avoid too much attention before the ship takes off. But other than that, she is ready to get off this fucking rock.
Okay.
So,
Speaking of rock, you are sitting on the Dyronok cliffside, which overlooks the bay. You can see the cargo ships coming and going. You can also see the vessel that you will soon be boarding onto. This isn't the main vessel that will take you off planet. This is the vessel that will take you to the other vessel that will take you off planet. But you are looking up, and you can actually see it breach the thick, heavy smog that covers this city. You can see it breach as it arcs down under the clouds. It emits this kind of glorious display of spiraling aurora light as it glides so effortlessly down and then lands somewhere beyond the buildings you can no longer see. But that is your chariot that will soon take you away from this hellscape. As you look over these jagged, rocky cliff sides as waves just kind of smash against rocks, and you see these dingy old boats that are just carrying cargo back and forth. You think this is the last time you're ever going to be here. And where do you go?
yeah, good riddance. I'd probably head to the dock. I have like a bag of stuff, if that, and I am ready to get out of here.
All right, you head that way as well. Okay, and Cass. You have tidied all of your things, and you've started your way towards the debriefing area, where Kane, the captain of this vessel, steps up onto a podium. There's no sort of fanfare going on here. Kane just kind of walks up onto a stage, looks at everybody, and says, "Looks to me like you're all ready. I say we just start loading up. Anybody have any last goodbyes?" A silent crowd. That's what I thought. Unless you say anything, Cass. Do you say anything?
No, but I want to look over to Callaway and just give her a little wave.
She is in the same sort of section that you are, that you've been funneled into, so she lets out just a long, low sigh. Well, let's get to it then. And everybody just goes off in their own respective directions. Callaway walks over to you and says, "So are you ready? Are we doing this?"
Eddie, this is for you.
And he's so excited.
No, I'm nervous.
No. Looks at you, staring silently. Guess not. And then walks away.
I'm just fidgeting, I'm fidgeting there, and I'm like, yes.
Okay.
So, do I board with you, or do I board with other people?
I'm assuming this is your first time ever embarking off planet.
Is it that obvious?
You seem nervous, and you don't normally seem
No.
nervous.
I'm not nervous. It's fine.
You will be fine. We won't let anything happen to you. And if you do a poor job at this whole surgery thing, then you would be meeting my expectations. Now, come on.
His mouth just drops open a little bit, and you just see him visibly wilt.
That was her version of a pep talk. She ushers for you to follow, and does take you to the surgery area where you start loading up all of the surgery equipment, by name in very neat and organized locations.
I call grabbing all the heavy stuff. Gotta show off a little bit.
This will require a academics plus medicine check to put the right surgery equipment in the right locations.
Let me open up my sheet real quick. Can't let Dr. Calloway down. You said, what do you want? Athletics and medicine?
Academics and medicine.
Academics and medicine. Haha, I took everything out of medicine, didn't I? That's a 4.
A 4. Yeah, you put things in places and you close the box up, and
Real proud of myself.
Yeah. After a while of her going over and checking things, she looks at you, kind of just shakes her head slowly, and takes most of the stuff you put in one box, puts it into another, and just starts organizing. And then she looks at you and says, "Just wait by the door. I will hand you a box. You will take it to the ship. You will hand it to the crewman, and then come back, and I will give you another box." How does that sound?
That sounds good. I should be able to do that. Sorry about the boxes earlier.
It is no problem. She goes and does this. This is the most of your morning.
I'm just invisibly dejected the whole morning. God damn.
We will actually skip Nanagon this one round because you will be arriving at the same time as Cass and Lyre. You both find yourself standing in the same line. Lyre, you are directly behind this tall person. Actually, this is the second time meeting them. Not Cass, sorry. It's gonna be Percy. Yeah, Percy. So Percy.
Cass is a short king.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I thought everyone was short except Percy.
Yeah, no. I was.
Group
reading
of
the wrong
short
name.
kings and a single tall queen.
Percy,
Queen.
you are
Or
standing
monarch.
in front of Lyre.
Either.
Percy, I'm going to leave it up to you if you know whether or not Lyre is standing behind you, but Lyre, you do recognize this person. Percy, describe your physical character.
Okay, Percy is about 6'2". She looks like somebody who has trained with athletics, weights, calisthenics, that kind of thing, possibly with the sword.
Calisthenics.
She's a bit broad-shouldered, broad-chested. She wears a long sort of piratey coat and not a whole lot else. Doesn't seem to care much for modesty. Has a large chest tattoo, long red hair, and a scar over her eye.
Lyre, you are looking up at this person, and you think you recognize her. Like, last night was a bit of a blurry haze, and
Sure.
there's a chance that there's a person who looked like this. But also, it could have just been a drunken fever dream. You're not sure.
Whether or not I know this person, I am going to try and hit on them. I think.
Okay, yeah.
No check required for in character.
Sure, it's person to person. So,
Yep.
oh god, how do you approach someone in line? God, that must be the most awkward flirting because like they can't get away.
No, they can't.
So, what are you in for?
Well, I was gonna say, do you come here often? I guess I'll just say that.
Like literally verbatim.
Yeah. I guess I don't want to tap you on the shoulder.
No, oh my god, please.
Whoa. I'm gonna lean against your like left shoulder like it's a wall. Like I'm like a cool guy, like leaning against a wall, and I'm gonna say that line.
She like turns as though she reaches for the dagger in her belt before anything, and then looks at you, and then does a double take and is like, "Ah, she's a musician."
The name's Liar, the Bard, in fabulous attire. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
And that's what you call fabulous. No, you look great. Don't worry about it, love.
Percy, you hear what sounds kind of like someone behind Liar laughing at your joke. There are other people, so it could have been another person, but it's like a muffled sound. Liar, you know who's laughing. Your loot is laughing at you.
He's always laughing at you.
That's fair. It helps with my comedy routines. Except he doesn't laugh then.
No.
To answer your question, no, I don't. First time, and hopefully the last.
Sure. So, what's made you want to get off this rock?
Just everything about it, really. The people, the atmosphere, the smell, the food. Yeah, I'm done. I'm really, it's gonna be great, being in the blackness of space compared to this place. So, yeah. What about you?
I don't want to brag or nothing, but I'm kind of like a deal. Not a big one, but a deal. On the ship, and I'm gonna be working there. So you'll probably see me around, so that'll be cool.
This may surprise you, but I gleaned all that from just you being in the same line as me. Just on account of we're all going to the same ship,
Right.
and presumably
Sure.
we'll be doing something on it, yeah.
Well, my something is a bit more extravagant than other somethings, so...
Is it the,
No, not
the
really,
instrument thing that you
it's-
did?
I'm not at liberty to say. I don't think my manager, would want me to tell. I don't have a manager.
Right.
I'm an assassin.
Percy is trying so hard not to laugh out loud at this person, and not really doing a very good job.
Percy,
She goes,
you're given an out as you finally make it to the front of the line. And there's a guard standing there, alm guard, dressed in this kind of like the same drab brown attire that most of the guards wear, with a bronze chest plate and this very stupid looking helmet. I don't know where your character's actually from, but like most other countries find the helmets that the people in Alm wear just really stupid. And you're just looking at him, and he looks at you and says, "Passport, you got your passport to get off the rock to head out to."
Right, yeah, I got it right here,
It's
and
like,
I hand it over.
9 in the morning. This person is already drunk. He looks at it, and then he takes a small little cube that he's been holding in his offhand, and he just scans it over it. Look right in me. You want to head on check your boxes with Reg. Check your boxes with Reg. Next, and then Liar, you step up to this person. Percy, you get to walk away without saying anything to Liar if you want, or you can say something, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, good luck, guitar boy. I think this will be interesting for you.
I take that as a compliment because I don't have a guitar. It's
So it's like an upgrade for you to get a guitar. Or what?
It goes lyre, banjo, ukulele, guitar.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you for clearing that up.
I have my papers, but I am gonna just see if I can get past this guard without them, just for the shits and giggles.
Okay.
I'm gonna saunter up to him and approach him with the same kind of mental awareness. Like, hey, man.
Okay, make me a I'm gonna call it a charm plus etiquette check.
It can't be that hard for etiquette.
Yeah.
That's a 2 on the dice, so I'm glad I did that. I have no charm. And what does it replace? Well, it's replaced with a 7. It must be, because
Yeah,
that's all I got.
I'm pretty sure you get to replace it with your.
So it's a 9.
Okay, with a 9. So yeah, you just kind of like meet this person with the same general demeanor. He looks at you. I think I know you. I think we
Oh yeah,
last night
man.
we was you did the songs and stuff with your lute.
That's right. Yeah, I did do those songs and stuff. Yeah.
You must be the bard on a ship then, right?
Yeah.
Snake.
I think.
Snake is just straight up.
He likes to go up.
well, you did a good job, mate. I don't think I've ever laughed and cried at the same time before, but I did laugh.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to right now. And
Don't you start. It's gonna make me.
if you could blame me, some of it, people in the back are yelling now. Like, hurry up! What the fuck is taking so long? Fucking.
Oh, I better get going, man.
Right. I want
See
you
you
to
on board. I just start to walk.
We're gonna call it an etiquette plus manipulation check to see if you can swing past this guy without using your passport.
I got a 7. I have no etiquette, and I can't do that again. And I'm not gonna bother with the manipulation. Actually, I don't even see that here.
It's under social.
Oh yeah, well it's 0.
0.
So.
Nice.
No, 7.
7. I'm gonna make him use Akata and awareness. Oh, just insight awareness. Yeah. Oh, goddamn. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got a 6. Yeah. You managed to slide past this guy.
Alrighty.
Without. Yeah. He says. What was your name then? Before you go.
Oh,
when you
the name is Liar, the Barden. Extravagant attire.
I'm gonna have you play at my wedding. That's what's happening. I'm not.
Are you getting married?
Well, someday maybe. No one said yes yet. Perhaps.
No one said yes.
What's your name, by the way, man?
Like, I'm asking everyone I pass by on the street.
My name's Gherkin. Like the, and he gestures to his shirt. Like his shirt. My mum named me after the shirt me pa was wearing when I was popped out. And all.
Kirkin? Is that what he said?
Jerkin.
Jerkin. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You go into the ship. People angry in the crowd, they end up funneling through.
Sure. Yeah.
God, if I'd known it was that easy, I would have just Nonagon would have just brought a guitar.
This is not the ship that will take you off planet. This is a taxi that takes you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. But it will take you to the other ship. All
I mean,
right.
you're not the only one with the stolen passport.
Yeah. You all kind of funnel into the same place. You take this ship from Ulm to Taydalan, which is roughly 400 miles away, and you get there in roughly 2 hours. And it takes you over there, over the clouds. You actually see wherever you're standing on this thing. It's pretty packed, shoulder to shoulder. The bumps and stuff are jostling you around. But if you happen to be near a window and you happen to look out, you can see that you have actually crested over the horizon of the planet, and you can see the dome of the Earth beneath you, and you can see the much larger celestial body that the planet that you are on orbits. And you're starting to kind of realize the vastness of everything around you. You're on a moon that orbits a planet that orbits a sun that orbits another sun. It is massive scale. You feel so small and maybe humbled as you look down over this kind of glowing orb that you were soon to be leaving, as it arcs back down, crests low beneath the clouds, and you can start to see the spectacle of Taydalan City laid out before you. At first, all you see is lush greenery and buildings poking up through the greenery. Taydalan City is laid out almost like a massive park with buildings in them. Everything is lush and green and botanical. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. And it smells great. You can actually feel the air entering the ship as all of that Diaronok stench is kind of wafted away. You can feel this fresh, crisp air kind of just flowing in. And it feels beautiful. Nonagon. Eventually, the carriage that you're on comes to a stop. And you are told by the carriage driver, Right then, everybody can head off if you want, or you can come back with me. Whatever you want to do.
I'm heading off. I don't know why anyone would take him up on that offer.
No one does. Everybody gets off. They all pay their different passage fees and exit. They all go off in their own ways. You only had like 12 people that you were traveling with to begin with. About 5 of those 12 end up going in the same exact direction as you. Others kind of get off. Some of them go on. You're at what appears to be a train station. It's kind of like these massive Arcana Tech train things. It's just a long segmented thing, but they aren't low to the ground like trains are. They're hung up on kind of like a rail system, and they sway back and forth, and they go quick. They're not attached to anything. They're actually held by some kind of Aurora magnetization, and it just shoots away. You can see there's like 6 rails, and you just see them shooting back and forth. They're so fast. You may or may not have ever been on one, but you think to yourself that sitting in that must be dizzying and like exhausting. But people are loading on and off of it. You can also see the massive ship that is just floating above the city. And you know that is the ship that you will soon be loading yourself onto. It is huge, and there are these lifts that keep floating up and back down, like loading on cargo of different sorts. You all head to the same place. You are all loaded in to the same kind of area. You're all funneled in different lines and different organizations. You can see, all of you, this sea of people with huge archways. And each archway has a sign above it that says a different district. Can all of you, and I don't know if you all picked your languages, but I'm assuming all of you can at least read the common trade language of the I figure that would be like the language that you pick. I don't know if anybody actually picked languages, but you all have.
I would not have. I don't think I got any more.
That's okay. You don't really need to worry about it. It'll come up in instances where I'll probably just say you don't know what this person is saying because of the language that they speak, but it won't really matter too much right now. As you look up, you see these different these different layouts. You see a sign above one of the archways that says passenger. You see a sign that says voyager. You see a sign that says crew. You see a sign that says mercenary. And I think that's it. Yeah. So there's crew, passenger, voyager, and mercenary. There were a few others, but those are the ones that matter to you all.
So at this point, are we all in the same place?
You are all in the same place, except for you, Cass. Actually, you're already you're behind that already. You've already kind of gone through this part. You're already in the crew area, and you are
Let's go, baby.
Loading things to the ship. So you're actually going from the castle. You are taking the stuff from the castle to the docking port, which is the base platform that some of these lifts land on, get loaded up with goods and equipment, whatever people need for their voyage, and then it just gets sent up using some kind of Aurora magnetization, some kind of anti-gravity field, whatever you want to call it. If you want to roll an arcane check to know what spell is being cast to get these things to lift up and down, you can, but you do see it floating up with a bunch of goods on it and then coming back down. You are giving your stuff to a person who checks it off, puts it onto this lift, and eventually the lift goes back up. You come back with more goods. You've been doing this for hours. You're probably somewhat tired. The rest
Guess
of
I
you,
need to
however,
eat another light bulb.
What?
So I guess I need to eat another light bulb.
Yeah, just walk up to this ship and just start sucking energy out of it. The rest of you, however, are looking at this sea of people who are loading into their respective loading zones. Nanagon, which of these are you going to go to?
That's what I've been trying to figure out. So there was Voyager, passenger, crew. What else?
Voyager, passenger, crew, and mercenary.
I mean, worst that could happen is you go to the wrong gate and they go, "Hey, buddy, go to the other gate."
Go to the
Yeah, I'm gonna. These guys were like looking to make a fortune out there.
They're probably
So
passengers.
Passengers or voyagers. We're gonna. Nonagod is gonna guess passenger.
Okay. So you're going on to the passenger squad.
You just better hope you don't get in line with the other guy.
Percy, I'm assuming because of your will to get off as quickly as possible, I'm gonna assume you're gonna be probably one of the first people off of the taxi, the ferrying vessel. So you're probably like front in line to get off of this. So you load out really quickly and you head directly to which of these places are you going to be standing in line?
I think she has a moment's hesitation because she is not sure. I know that she is supposed to be trailing somebody from the collective. I know that she's not 100% sure exactly who that is. She's also not sure who the guy is that she stole the passport from, and that might matter too. But she has like a minute's hesitation, and then it's just like, I'm gonna go with my gut, and goes towards mercenary.
Okay. You head towards the mercenary, line. And Liar. Which one are you heading to?
Describe for me the main ship deck. Like, is it more of a cruise type thing where we're like in the ship, or are we like on top mass of the deck, getting to see the outskirts of the land and the view?
So if you were to be loading onto this vessel, it's really hard to see because all you can see right now is the bottom of it peeking through the clouds. It is huge. It is like it's blanketing this city in like
Okay, so we're not actually on the ship. We're in different lines from the taxi docks to get on the ship.
Yeah, so
to different lines of this ship.
Waiting
Okay.
in the bus station.
The queue.
Waiting to
Okay.
waiting in the queue, waiting to get onto the vessel. So you're trying to figure out which line you need to be in to get onto the vessel.
How fast are these lines going?
They're going pretty slow. And
Pretty slow?
It's relatively chaotic as people are nestled. You can see that the more chaotic ones, so there are some that are neat and kind of orderly. And you know what? Just make me a insight plus awareness check. I will also give you the option
7.
of a creativity plus awareness check.
I'll do that one then.
Okay.
So that's a 14.
14. As you look around, you can see that there are neat, orderly individuals in the Voyager line. The mercenary and the passenger lines are pretty chaotic and all over the place. You could probably just squeeze in and get closer to the front of the line in the more messy ones. However, the more neat and orderly one, and the crew, which just looks like the crew one is actually going the fastest. It's just boom, 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 boom. But the Voyager one is full of more interesting looking individuals.
I think I'm not going to get in any of the lines.
Oh.
Seeing as all these people are pretty much stuck in traffic right now and having to wait and all are probably pretty annoyed, I'm going to just start maybe doing a little melody or something. Try to ease the tension for everyone. Try to make it more of an experience for the people getting on the boat. So I'll start performing.
Boats for like my premium line experience.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah,
it's like how people in the New York subway are always busking. That's like the best place to busk.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna put my hat out or something. I'm gonna pretend like, I mean, technically this is my job, so I guess I'll just start it early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your per diem was? What your amount, your allotment was per day? Did you have
Of what?
Down? How much money you got? Because if you report to your person every day, you get a per diem, which is just like an amount of money that you can.
Oh
food every
no,
day.
I don't know if we ever set that.
No, you did. It was like 30 or something, right?
Yeah,
Was it?
I think it was a little.
Oh, that's right.
I think it was something like. It was more than the average crew. I do remember that. I think it was like 17 or 18.
Oh shit, I was high up.
Yeah. The average crew gets, I think, 15 a day.
I like the 30 answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, also like the 30 answers. We're gonna be in the same. If we're gonna be in the same ship, you're wrong.
Yep. So yeah. So you start busking. Go ahead and just make me an instrument plus performance check if you're using your instrument. If not, then
No.
no. Okay.
It's 11.
An 11. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's smooth. It's a pretty, it's pretty awesome. It is loud in here. There's a lot of people talking, a lot of people shouting, and numbers are just like kind of like flashing on different random like a sign will go up in the air that's kind of like this just sigil that flashes as a number and then dissipates. And that happens every now and then. You don't know why, but it's kind of loud every time it does. It's like and reverberates the air. It's hard for anybody to hear you, but those who are close by do turn, they look, they watch. Some of them stop even having their own conversations and just watch you instead. But
I'm pretty much doing this to pass the time till the lines get shorter.
yeah, this lasts for a while. Eventually, you all make it to your front areas of the line.
Can I ask, while I'm in the line for mercenaries, I'm like trying to look around and see if the person that I'm supposed to be tailing is in the general area. I also just want to get a feel for like the mercenary crowd.
You do know what this person looks like? You're aware of their appearance?
I don't know if I do, or I don't recall. What I took down in my notes is tail someone from the collective, but yeah.
It'll probably be more of a listening in and seeing if anybody's having a conversation. It might be sus. So go ahead and make me a awareness plus insight check. That seems to be a popular one.
Yeah. Okay, that's a 3 on the die plus 1 awareness and 4 insight, so 8.
8. As you're listening around, you hear these different conversations from different people. The people who are directly next to you, one of them is this sort of tall, very broad individual. He's got like a graying beard. He's got tusks and 2 horns that come off of his eyebrows. His ears are long and pointed, and his skin is this sort of light gray color. He has a tail. It's a very, very strange looking individual. His eyes are this beautiful gold color. And his voice is gruff as he's talking to a short, thin Aleph person next to him. This short, thin Aleph person is just sitting on what looks like a treasure chest with their hands behind their back and just kind of leaning. And he's just having a conversation with her. The conversation seems to be about their guild and the perspectives of what they're going to be after, and like you need to get your fucking head in the game. It's not going to be an easy ride like it always is for you. This is going to be hard. Are you ready? You hear stuff like that from them. People in front of you are talking about gambling and how excited they are to start gambling on the ship. You do hear a very, very specific place that people are going for gambling, so you do know of a location that people go to gamble. And I'll give you that if you want. If would your character commit that to memory?
I think so. It's maybe a good place to pick up information.
Yep. Okay, that location. It is on the ship, by the way. It is a place on the ship for gambling. You gather. It is, what is it called? Oh, I think it's just called the Arena.
Huh.
That is, yeah. It actually hasn't been quite named yet. The place is supposed to be named after the first victor. You do gather that. People talking about it. You don't know the context, but you do know that it is a place where people go to gamble. It is called the Arena, or people have been calling it things like the Stadium, the Gladiatory Room, the Chamber, the Proving Grounds. It's been called all of these different names. It's a place where people are excited to go. Some people even took this voyage specifically for this event.
Okay. I'll remember that.
That's all you gather from your listening in on people talking. All right. Anybody else want to do anything in their line before we move to the front?
When the lines finish, I'm just gonna fly up.
I just want to move my boxes exceptionally well.
Okay. That'll be a athletics plus fortitude check.
Oh, God. Fuck.
How efficient.
Okay. Let's roll, baby. Okay, that's a 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an 8.
An 8. You're not doing bad. You're like saving off your exhaustion. You're doing well. You're doing well. Nonagon, you for some reason find yourself. You'd think after a very long ride in a bumpy carriage that you'd feel exhausted and sore, but you don't. You actually feel great and rested and energized. You feel like really good, actually. Like, however, you manifest that. Just know that you feel like as rested as you've felt in a very long time.
What kind of coffee did that person give me?
Yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah, no,
Hard
no.
eggs.
Yep. He also didn't charge you for it either.
Oh, well,
God.
Get some money to pay
Yeah.
with your soul.
I guess I have some money, but that's kind of nice. I'm glad that I didn't have to pay for that.
Yeah. Okay, so you all make it to the front of your lines. Those of you who make it through with relative ease are Cass, who is obviously already there, and Nonagon. You actually make it through with no hiccups at all. The only hiccup that you end up coming across is the because you got the information, you got the name, you use the passport. They ask to check your bags, and they ask where you want your bags sent. They ask if you want to send your bags to a particular guild or to your room, or if you even have bags at all. If you don't, then it's fine.
Nonagon does not have bags.
Okay. He looks at you confused and shrugs and says, "All right then. Get on, I guess."
Yeah, you know how it is. Doing that whole fresh start. Don't want to bring any worldly possessions.
He raises his eyebrow at you, looks even more confused. You see him studying you.
Oh shit!
And then he lets you go though.
Oh, thank God.
All right, and Liar, which line did you end up flying to the front of?
Oh, I didn't fly to the front of the line. I just flew to the top of the ship.
Just fly straight up.
Oh, God.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Percy, you get to the front of this line and you show your badge, and the dude behind the thing, he looks at you. You're in the wrong line. You're supposed to go over that way. You ain't no.
Which line? Sorry.
Though you look like one. I'm sure some of these poor saps probably lost out on their crew members. You'd probably join one of their guilds. They'd probably give you a passport if you need one. But we're not handing them out here, and they ain't free.
Alright, well, I've got a passport. I guess I'm just not sure where I'm supposed to go. Sorry.
Let me see.
I hand it over.
He looks at it, and he scans it over with one of those cubes. He hands it back to you. You're over in the passenger line. Didn't strike me for the rich fancy type, but enjoy your ride, your highness. Next.
Alright, I guess. I go over to the passenger line. I got information out of this. It's not wasted time.
Yeah, you do have to wait through that line again. It does take you a good while to get back on, but you did get some information out of it.
Yeah.
You fly up to the top. Cass, you're bringing your packages, and this is your last package. You don't have to bring any more packages. The guy, he loads it up on. You see someone shoot out through the crowd of people who will soon be loading themselves onto this ship. and just start flying up towards the ship, towards the top of the ship. Describe yourself, liar.
Take a very typical devil-looking person. I've got very large horns. I've got elf-like ears. One that's pierced, another that's kind of mangled, like it got bit off by something. I think I have kind of basically red skin, maybe a little bit darker. I'm 5'7", I think I said, and then add 3 inches with the horns. Oh, and then I have, of course, wings I'm using to fly up.
And
Outside of that,
huge.
yeah.
The wingspan is enormous. It's probably like a 10-foot wingspan. No, it'd have to be more than that. It's like a.
It'd be like 20 foot.
Yeah, it'd be like a 20-foot wingspan. It's just boom, blankets the sky.
And that's why I didn't include your wings in the photo.
It is worth mentioning that you can tuck them up pretty small
Right. Yeah.
But when you extend them out, they're fucking huge. You cannot fit through medium-sized spaces while your wings are extended. It is important to know that. But anyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You see this going. What does your outfit look like?
It was. I think another person described them as having a very stylish. I think my clothes are more of a rich person style, so it's not like the Gucci, but it's like Calvin Klein.
Right.
Or it was Calvin Klein, maybe when I got it, but I don't maintain it at all, and I don't really know how to wear it nicely.
You're wearing lashes.
So it's just on me, and it was nice once, but not anymore.
That's the equivalent of like an Ed Hardy shirt.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
A little tacky now that the time has passed.
Yeah.
Looking up, you see that. You see them flying right up beyond the... and the person who's loading this stuff up is turned away from this person putting a box there. As he turns away, the mechanisms that seem to be holding it in place unlatch, and it starts to lift itself back up. You can tell that the flying person and this thing will cross paths at some point.
I'll just turn around and be like, is Callaway nearby?
Callaway is not. Callaway's been boxing things up. You are alone out here with just this dock worker, this person who's loading boxes onto the vessel.
The passengers are fine.
He looks at you. Huh? What are you talking about?
The passengers.
You better get on, lad. Before
No! Look up.
Look, I'm busy. I've got lots of boxes. You keep talking out every time you come up here. You're talking. I do such a good job. I'm carrying me boxes. Good for you. I've got a load of hundreds more. Now get on. And he storms off and starts getting more boxes.
I love this person whose entire personality is just boxes.
I'm just like standing there, and moving back and forth. You know when you're nervous, and you're just like
The landing platform, the loading platform is almost out of reach. You could jump up and grab it. You would eventually become you would eventually run into this person.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump up and grab it because it's listening to me.
You do. As it starts to lift up, he looks up at you and he's like, "What are you doing, lad? Oh, you're fucking mental."
Flying.
Oh, good God, fucking ions. Fucking toe. He starts angrily storming off. "You fucking lad, just tell you to jump up on it." And his voice gets quieter and quieter until you are just now dangling probably 60 feet and increasing 70 feet, 80 feet, as you're just now dangling, your feet just swaying under you, the wind gust blowing your rippling clothes. I need you to make me a physical plus athletics check to pull yourself up onto the platform.
Okay, that's 12.
That's actually pretty good. You do manage to pull yourself up. You start to sway back and forth, and you grab onto one of the boxes, and you look down, and now you're about 150 feet off of the ground, looking down at all of these tiny, tiny people. But you do see the dock worker pointing up at you at another person.
Just yell down, "Don't tell Kane!"
But you also see the winged person who's flying up there. You are moving much faster than he is, and as you come to cross paths, Liar, you see this lift, and you don't think much of it as you're flying up until you see a person on it, staring at you. Cass, describe yourself. What do you look like?
I am a 5'5" short king. I have gray and teal hair, and I am mostly built out of parts. I am covered in a white tunic and pants, and just overall very nervous demeanor.
I'm gonna salute the person as they're flying up next to me.
How close is he to me?
He isn't within like grabbing range, but he can hear everything that you say. Like you guys are probably like I'd say probably 4 meters away from one another. You can hear each other, but you can't reach each other. Unless he flew a little closer.
Just gonna wildly like. Am I like? Are we going to hit each other?
He would have hit.
I think it's parallel, isn't it?
Yeah, you're like parallel as you're both going up. He would have flown into it. This one's like coming up like this, and he was just going straight up. And he would have run into each other, but he had to like kind of swirl around. And now you guys are just kind of like floating as it continues upwards.
I'm just like gesturing, like what the fuck?
If he was closer to you, though, the gust from his wings would probably knock you off the platform. So it's probably good that he's a few distances away.
I'm gonna just salute, like I said.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna continue on my lift then.
You continue on up, and eventually he passes you as he's going up, and you're just looking up at this lift now. Now you just see the bottom of it. If you get too close to it, though, you feel this weird propulsion feel. It feels like it starts to pull you upwards faster.
Me or them?
You.
Oh, okay. Well, if I'm going faster, fuck it. Sure, why not?
You go into it, and immediately your wings are just sucked down, and you're just pulled up. I need you to make me a physical plus acrobatics check to dive out of it before you slam into the top of the platform.
Can't be that hard. That is a 7 on the die. I know I have nothing in physical, so that's another 7, so that's a 14.
14. Yeah, you dive out just before you clip your wing and you spiral. You can catch yourself in the air. However, Cass, you have the opportunity to grab this person now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to grab them, this freaking lunatic who's flying onto the goddamn ship.
You see him kind of flailing a little bit, and you see one of his wings kind of just come right with
Cass probably thinks that you're a goddamn pirate or some shit who's trying to rob the ship.
So
Fucking weirdo.
Need you to make me a physical plus athletics check versus Liar's physical plus his choice of acrobatics or athletics.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, I guess not.
That's a 10. Let me roll a d8.
Your Liar's a band in athletics.
Alright, I'll do athletics. It can't be that hard.
Yeah.
So
you can't
18, 19, 20.
20, Jesus, okay.
Wait, no,
never mind.
did you say physical?
Yeah.
So
Physical.
23.
I'm not gonna fight that, no. I got an 8 on the die.
Nice.
So...
With what pluses?
It's a 20, so...
Yeah, you're right. You just get fucking yoinked. You get shot straight up. You quickly push yourself out of the way. You start to spin in the wrong direction, and then you feel yourself pulled and then slammed up against the boxes. You are now held by the construct standing before you, the Meccan who just slammed you into the boxes.
Hey there, handsome.
Are we gonna get a you flirting with everyone?
Probably.
Yeah.
Very.
Everyone.
Sexuality.
Wrap
Yes.
this. I think it's just natural.
Cass, how do you
You can't. You can't just fly up onto the ship.
Oh?
I'm taking you to Kane.
Kane will have something to say about you apprehending me, I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank God. I hope he does.
Alright, it's your hide on the line, not mine. I was trying to do my job.
Okay, I'm so sure. Your job is flying up into the top of the ship. That doesn't make sense.
That's right. Yeah, no, I'm part of aerial apprehension navigation.
I think you're full of shit.
Ah.
Eventually, the loading platform makes its way all the way up to the base of the ship, where you can see loads of workers loading things and taking them to their respective locations. They look up at both of you.
I wave.
I wasn't prepped for this. I wasn't. John! This person, Joan, comes kind of just trotting up. They're a stout, dverger with just this kind of like onyx black carapace that's growing out of their arms and on like the higher points of their face. They have slicked back black hair and deep inset onyx eyes. Their skin is this kind of light ashy gray color, and when they open their mouth, you can see that their tongue kind of glows and crackles a little bit.
Oh.
Hey.
They look up at you, and who might you be?
What is he pointing to?
Floating up on the lift. That's not for people. That's
not for the people.
No, this guy was flying onto the top of the ship, and the boxes were going to hit him. So I jumped on the platform to intercept him so he doesn't get hit by the boxes, and he's an asshole.
Your Honor, I'd like to interject. I'm only partially asshole, the other part bard.
I'm gonna give you 3 passings of my fingers before I whip your ass. Or
Tell me what the security guard is.
Just jump off.
Your turn. And he starts to lower his finger. Cass, what are you doing?
Just tell me where the nearest security guard is.
Cass, I'll give you a let's call it an etiquette plus persuasion check.
Oh, fuck. I ain't got neither of those. Let me take away my dice. Let me roll a new one using Google Dice. Oh, that's a straight 6.
Just a flat 6?
Yeah, just a flat 6.
He's never seen you before, and he doesn't believe you. So he goes to grapple you. Are you gonna resist, or are you gonna let him grapple you?
Resist.
Okay.
I'm also wait. Can I help? Can I do a help out?
You could.
Okay.
You could. He's gonna.
I'm actually gonna try to drag this person with me, seeing that they're about to be taken by security.
Okay. I will give both of you. So all 3 of you make a check. The highest succeeds out of all 3.
And what is the check based on?
So sorry. So for Cass, it's gonna be a physical plus your choice of acrobatics or athletics. For Liar, it'll be physical plus acrobatics. Kind of gotta be an acrobatics check. Actually, I will give you your choice of acrobatics, sleight of hand, or
I haven't done sleight of hand yet, so I'll do that one.
Okay.
Can't be that hard. Sleight of hand. Here we go. Got a 9 on the die plus 7, so that is going to be a 16.
16.
12 total.
12 total. I think the 16 wins, but let's find out. It's gonna be versus.
Wait, are you helping to grapple me, or are you helping to do something or not grapple me?
I'm grabbing you off of the main mast, like the top of the ship, and I'm going to carry you back down.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Plus.
What a great way to introduce ourselves. Cass doesn't cuss often. Goddamn.
Liar, what was yours again?
16?
You tie
Oof.
the big bruiser, but I think tying goes to player. I think I actually wrote that in the rules. So, this person grabs Cass, is clearly going to just put them on the ground and then tie their hands.
Mhm.
You can see them actually reaching for a something. They actually hold their hand out, and a device appears in their hand. It kind of materializes out of this Aurora mist.
Mm.
And then you just scoop, Cass, and grab and dive. And now you are
Mhm.
both plummeting, like just spearhead down until you
Sure.
flay your wings open and then cruise out and glide.
I'm gonna do the scene from How to Train Your Dragon with Cass.
Which scene? The one where you like
Where they're spiraling down, looking at each other, whatever.
It's just going like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
And then, of course, I'll use my wings when we get closer to the ground. Back to the lines, yeah.
And we're gonna go ahead and cut from you guys there. To
Well, that's a nice introduction.
Yeah.
To Nonagon. You are following the pace of all of these other people being loaded on until you are eventually given. It's a small wooden chip with a metal, like, kind of like a shape on the end. It almost looks like a T in a circle, embedded in with brass bolts, and there is a number on it. It's, well, a number and a few letters. It says P006.
My room key, yes, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. So are we like being ushered onto the ship now, or are we still kind of in a?
You are being ushered into a place where you're just overlooking a massive drop off. It's kind of like a trench. The trench is so deep down you can just see the mist and clouds kind of clinging to the sides and just kind of rolling through, uh, and just mechanical equipment just all the way down. Eventually, and Percy, you see this as well. You are standing before the same thing. Eventually, you take a little bit longer to get here, but you're eventually here, standing in your own version of this line. You are given a similar wooden thing with a metal shape on the end and a number on it. Your number is, what were you? Voyager? Yeah, you were a Voyager. So it's V, 116.
For me, right?
Yeah. Okay. And as you overlook this, eventually you see the massive shape start to lower itself under the clouds and sets itself into this this crevice, and bridges just kind of drop themselves down and latch into each other, and people just start getting funneled onto the ship. I need to stress again the size of this. It is absolutely astronomically large. There's actually trees on the top of this vessel. I forgot to mention that to Cass and Lyre. You both were on the top of this. You actually saw what kind of looked like a park, and then
Ooh.
wooden stairs that lead up on one side that just stretch up for probably about 100 feet up. You also saw a building to your other side. You also saw this massive mast that just stretches up into the clouds. You can't even see it beyond the clouds. And this stringent scent of burnt ozone just kind of lingered in the air. The mast itself was this kind of technicolor pattern, and the fabric that holds the sails together is this kind of hexagonal pattern overlapping itself. Also, the outline of the hexagonal patterns, or the seam of the pattern, has this same kind of blurry technicolor pattern to it. As it lowers itself down before you, Percy and Nanagon, it just locks in. The bridges fall. People start loading themselves onto the deck. You all load on to this deck. You're eventually standing in what looks like a city. Maybe not a city. What's the size of a city, but looks more like a a sparsely forested park and two bridges that overlap one another, leading towards what seems to be a large pool and overlooking just it's kind of like center mass of the ship, we'll just say that. You see a couple buildings that they look like buildings. One of them just goes into a tall spiral. Percy, you know that's the building that was mentioned earlier, the arena or stadium. And you see most people heading towards the other direction, which is the stairs that lead up, just straight up, and other stairs that lead down. A lot of people are going down. Many people are just flooding down. With that visual in mind, I'm going to run to the bathroom really quick.
Oh, me too.
Great. This has been great. I'm currently plummeting with a stranger at the moment.
I think we made it down. I think we made it to the. You're welcome, by the way.
That's also the first time Cass has ever been hit on in his life.
Wow, that's.
And until you stop me, it won't be the last.
Actually, I feel like that. No, Percy definitely has experience with getting hit on. I was about to say, I feel like that maybe all of us are kind of not experienced in that area, but then I was like, Percy looks like Percy, so.
First, we know for a fact that Percy's had experience getting hit on because it happened earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, both of you guys are what are you, androids or robots or what?
I'm a construct, but I look very.
So are you
human.
all robot?
Yeah, we're all.
Yes.
All
I
robots.
am. I'm like a real soul that is put into an artificial body, so like so I am like all robot. However, my creator gave me kind of a human visage, so I appear to be human unless you look closer, and then I do have some like brain.
So it's kind of like an android, but without actually any brain or whatever in it.
The soul.
Like you still yeah. I mean, you have a soul instead of like
Okay, I thought you were
a
saying I
human
was
brain.
stupid or something. I was like, oh.
Damn.
Yeah.
How'd you go there?
Essentially.
Liar,
Okay.
I will give you the same kind of like propaganda that most other people think about mechans or constructs. The
Okay.
things most people think of when they think of a mechan or a construct, by most people, I mean like layman's people, like people who like would happen past one on the street. They oftentimes see them, or you would oftentimes see them, in like a service industry role, or in like a like they would be serving a job. You don't often see mechans just kind of living their life and doing fun stuff. Like you
Do I know
You do.
that mechans aren't people?
I would say that,
Or, like,
but you've been
aren't
with
living.
with the educated folk. You've actually been around other educated people, and you've had educated conversations. You know
Okay.
that they are people. You know that it is a soul. You don't know how the body
Okay.
works, but you know that it would be a similar soul to one that you have. You specifically being someone with a different kind of soul than most other mortals. Your soul is different. It looks different. If someone was able to take a look at it, your soul actually looks different than most mortals. Their soul also looks different than most other mortals. However,
Is that based on my race or backstory?
it's based on your race, and actually both. It's strongly based
Okay.
off of both, but more so that you have immortal blood. You know, some of your some of the spice of life that created you was immortal, making your soul a little different.
Did I ever tell you when I was younger, I thought a soul was a little zap of lightning in a jar that you had in your body? Like, when I was young, I literally thought that's what it was.
How do you know that's not what Nonagon has?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Fair.
So we made it back to the lines, all right. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You got back to the
Okay.
lines. Other people saw you land and were confused. Some of the same. It's none of the same people though. It actually took you a while to get
Sure.
up and back
Yeah,
down.
it took
so-
us a while.
Yeah. The line is actually much shorter. And
That's
it's
see.
moving.
There
much
we go.
faster. Do you set this
Actively
person
trying
down?
to drag you to the nearest person that knows who I am.
Well, as you land, how do you release this person? Do you just yeet them onto the ground, or do you like gingerly let them go?
If they're trying to grab at me, I might like kind of drop them like a cat. But I'm like bowl them a little bit. But if they're
until we get on the ground.
okay, I was planning on just kind of like dropping them off and like landing next to them.
Okay. You do so. You said, Nanagon, that you're trying to grapple this person and take them?
Yes.
Okay, fuck it, sure.
You just go along.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. It's not Nanagon. It's Cass.
Cass.
Cass, you're taking this person. You haven't introduced names to one another yet, but you're taking this person where exactly?
First, I would like to know his name. So I look at him. What's your name?
The name's Lyre, the Bard in Fabulous Attire. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Okay, so Lyre, you should follow me this way.
Oh, what's this way?
Something fun.
I'm down for fun.
Brilliant. You follow. And yeah. This person leads you to the entrance of a castle. It's not very far off. It's actually this docking area is pretty much butted up next to this castle. But like walking outside of the docking area, you are in almost what feels like a different place with different vegetation, and the trees are spaced out a little bit more, where you can see castle grounds. They just take you up to the castle.
On the ship or like next to the ship?
Next to the ship.
Next to the ship. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can actually see the ship from the castle, but you couldn't see the castle from the ship. That's.
I think I'm supposed to get on board soon. I think they're taking off.
No, it'll be fine. We'll get you on the ship. It'll be good.
Okay. All right. Sure.
You get led back to the castle. Where to this castle are you taking?
Where would I know that somebody who knows stuff about the ship and passengers would be? Like, who is important that I would know, that I could tell that there's this crazy person trying to fly to the top of the ship?
You know what? Give me a mental plus academic. No, academics is a weird one. We'll just say mental plus creativity.
Okay.
Who do you think?
Oh, I just clicked off my die. What do we got? Eight.
Your choice of creativity or politics. You could use either or.
Well, I got none of them, so I'm gonna do 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11.
All right. You know for a fact, Kane, being the captain of this ship, probably knows everything about it. You also know the person who's directly in charge of you, Calloway, and you know the guards on the ship. And if you go directly to the guards' barracks, you could probably find either one of the castle guard. If you're looking for the ship guard, you might want to take them to the crew's loading on area.
Yeah, I'll take them there because I don't want to bother Kane. No, he's probably busy. It's ship day.
It's ship day.
You know, I'll take him to the
we ship all our favorite characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's two different places for the crew to load on. There's the main crew. There's the crew that work on the ship in the same way that a tavern attendant would work in a tavern, or that. But there's also the crew what keeps the ship running, the ones who are directly under the leader staff of the ship. So you've got your physicians, your mechanics, and things like that.
I would
the crew, but then there's also the crew who work here, groundskeepers or people who work in the different guild establishments.
Who would there be security around where I was loading up the boxes?
Yes, there would be.
Because I would probably just take him there.
Yep, there is security there. Yeah.
Because
you can take him there.
Because Cass would easily get lost anywhere else.
Fair enough. You take him to the same place that you were at before, loading the boxes, and you are met with a guard who is there, who looks at you a little confused. Yes?
Okay. So, this guy right here with the wings.
Hello.
His name is Laya.
The bard in exquisite attire.
Doesn't matter. Was attempting to fly up to the top of the ship. I don't even know if he has passage onto the ship, and it was just flying up, trying to get to the top, and he almost got hit by the boxes.
Mr. Liar.
Yes.
Show me your passport, if you have one.
I can hand it to him.
Liar. Liar.
Yes.
Go through the line. Don't skip.
Oh, I think there may have been some miscommunication. I was simply flying at the end of my performance. You see on my passport, I'm here as a performer.
Right.
Who's gonna get hit by boxes?
When you
I didn't
get
see any
performance.
boxes, so I'm not sure.
You didn't see them, which is why they would have hit you.
entering the ship through
Mhm.
ways that don't shortcut we'll call it a field of force surrounding the ship, would vaporize you instantly.
Oh.
Just so you know that for future
Sure, I mean, I planned on entering the ship, of course, through the lines
Through the
legally,
line, right.
as every other good citizen was. As you can see, I'm part of the scholars, so I am very well versed on force
seem
fields.
educated. Go to the line, wade through it,
Sure.
and Cass.
And you should definitely give this worker here, I believe their name was Cass, promotion. Obviously, looking out for the clientele, very, step forwardness. It's great worker you have here. Toodaloo.
My eyes out of you.
A promotion, Cass, is you know what? Just the medical staff is soon to be boarding. Just go back with Calloway. I'm sure she'll be thrilled to have you
I
back.
sigh, and I let go of Liar, and I just glare at him as I walk away.
To which line I then go in, I'm just gonna eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Okay.
So.
I'm gonna give you a D6, and you go through. I think that's actually the right one. Yeah, you go through the right one. Almost.
Right, okay.
Yeah. You're loaded through. You're loaded on, and you're met with the
Yeah.
same glorious description that I gave everyone else. But the two who boarded on first, actually, the one who boarded on first is Nanagon.
Hi.
You are standing before this glorious spectacle of people kind of moving about, going about their business. So you also see a directory, which is kind of just like a kind of like a pillar that's posted up in random places with an Aurora illusion, kind of arcane painted over top of it, which gives this kind of like a display of what the ship is currently looking like and what different things are happening in what parts of the ship. If you walk over to it, yeah, you'll be able to see like a map, essentially.
Yeah, probably gonna just immediately look for like rooms, just passenger quarters.
Yeah. It is the lowest point of the ship, meaning you've got to find some way down and then find your way to the passenger section. There are also hotels that aren't your rooms. There are some people here who don't actually have a room and they need to stay in a hotel. So there are taverns and hotels aboard the ship as well that you could stay in if you wanted.
A hotel, motel, Holiday Inn?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I think he's probably just gonna try and find his room, and his intent, my intent is to stay there until we're out of here, until we've launched the point of no return.
Okay.
Because I would prefer to make sure that there's no way for this to go south before I start actually kind of going out and mingling with anyone.
Yeah. As you make your way down, you know what? Go ahead and make me a we're just gonna call it a mental plus awareness check.
Heard. Sorry that Nonagon is being so antisocial, you guys. He's got problems. Okay.
The only one of us with problems, obviously.
Yeah, of course. What are you saying? You guys make characters with problems? Who does that?
Liar is the balanced breakfast of people.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be an 11.
Eggs of people.
You do using the directory. You kind of just study it for a second, figure out where you need to go. You pass through the mid deck of the ship, which is a multi-tiered. Think of it kind of like an indoor mall. It's got it's really big, and most of the walkways are kind of like a surrounding border overlooking what seems to be a small in comparison to things of the rest of the ship. It's like roughly the size of your average park, with like kind of like a spiral pattern leading into the middle, and like sparse trees located everywhere, and then like kind of like a sandy area that leads up to kind of a pool. And then just lots of different business faces that are all closed at the moment. None of them have actually opened up yet, other than two business faces. One of them being a hotel, and one of them being a like kind of like a pub / tavern situation. You do find your way out of this area, and then lead yourself down into the actual like domicile portion, which is the lowest part of the ship. Down here, you find yourself in many different color-coded hallways. The different color-coded hallways appear to... There is a color on the wood of your thing. It is along the side edge of it that seems to match one of the colors of these hallways. And then walking through, you are one of the closer ones to the entrance, which, for better or for worse, you round a corner and you see two Dverger with emerald-encrusted carapace and a kind of wealthy attire standing before one of the room next to the one that you can tell is yours. You're on 006, they're on 007. And unlocking the door, you hear them conversing with one another, but you don't understand the language that they're speaking. One of them seems agitated, looking at the room next to yours, and they just kind of glare at, or the one next to theirs being your room, and they kind of glare at it for a moment, and sigh and go into their room. The door closes.
Okay, change of plans. I am instead gonna turn around and go back up the stairs and go to the hotel that's open.
Okay. Making your way back up through the hustle and bustle, different building faces are actually starting to open up again. And you slowly make your way up there. And that will lead us to Percy. You eventually board the ship, the same, display, and then I mentioned that spiral building that you do recognize. You know what it is. You look towards the mercenary department, the line that you were standing in, and you can see them, loading. A lot of them are already heading in that direction.
Yeah, I think I'd want to get established, make sure I have like a room set up and kind of set my stuff down. This is a little bit like my own instinct of like, I want to get to the hotel room first and then we'll have fun kind of thing. Yep. But I do plan on going to the arena like as soon as I'm done with that. I think I only want to take a little bit of the money I have as well, because I don't want to get stuck or persuaded into gambling all of it out on like my first day here. Yep. So yeah, I'm gonna take like maybe 5 gem shards and yeah.
Okay. Let's see if you can find your room first. It's a very big ship, so
yeah, fair.
And I need you to make me I think it was just mental awareness is what I said. Yeah, mental awareness.
Sure. Okay. That is gonna be 4 on the die. 1 awareness, so that's a 5 total.
You get lost as fuck. Like,
yeah, that tracks.
You end up standing. You end up walking like up this kind of like huge ass staircase, and you see other people walking up that way, so why not? Check it out. It is to the. You actually get so lost, you don't know what is middle, rear, and end, and there's just kind of like masts located kind of all over the place. So you just end up trying to find the edge of the ship, which takes a while, till you eventually get there. And you spend about 2 hours wandering aimlessly in this massive ship until you eventually find yourself in what kind of looks like an amphitheater. And there's actually a performance going on down at the bottom. It is 4 people down there, and there's a few people watching the performance. And they're putting on some kind of glow display in the air using Aurora. They're just kind of like painting the sky itself with Aurora with these like glorious patterns, and they're just spraying pattern all over the place. This prismatic glow that just kind of takes on different shapes, and if you watch it long enough, you can tell that these patterns are actually purposeful and they're telling a story using these different shapes. Do you stay and watch the performance, or do you try to leave and go somewhere else?
I might stay for like a couple minutes, but it doesn't really seem like the kind of thing that would hold her attention for too very long.
Yep.
And she does really want to find her room. I think she's looking for somebody who looks nice, maybe like a pretty girl or something, to ask for directions.
There's actually like a gaggle of people. There's like 6 of them, and they're all wearing a similar kind of uniform. They all look like they might be there for the same reason. They all have jet black hair and very sort of like soft features.
Do they look like cops?
No, they
Okay.
They look kind of like students.
Okay. Yeah, I'll approach and
You loom over them. They look up at you.
Hello. I'm just looking. I'm trying to find my room. I seem to have gotten hopelessly lost. Could one of you possibly help me out here?
Go ahead and give me a charm plus persuasion check.
Okay. This is the stuff. Well, it's slightly the stuff. Okay, that's a 9 on the die, +1 charm, +1 persuasion, so 11.
11. That's actually really good. You kind of offset the first like sketch, and then they calm down. Oh, yeah. One of them speaks up. You could go down. The all the crew stuff is all of the well, I don't know where the mercenary rooms are or anything, but the very bottom of the ship is where most of the people's rooms are. Or there's hotels you could stay at if you get lost and can't find your room.
I think just a standard room should be fine. Right. I guess I could go down unless one of you has the time to escort me. I don't.
They all look at each other and look back at you. Oh no, we're gonna watch the.
Understandable. No, it's totally fine. It's a very good light show thingy. Yep, I'll be going.
Okay,
Thanks for the help.
And you walk away from them. They all kind of like murmur at each other in a language you don't know. And eventually you leave. Their uniforms all had this kind of red and black argyle pattern to it underneath of these kind of like long black cloak looking things. And they all had the same exact haircut. Their makeup was all done the same way. They all looked almost identical. You could tell that they were different people, but they definitely had the same outfit, the same hair, the same. It was very, a little weird.
Difficult.
but
well, or military school. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But
okay.
I want makeup at my military school.
So yeah.
Powerful.
I have more information, and I'm going down because that seems like the better direction to go.
Yep. You head down. You go through that same kind of mall-esque place. You can see different buildings that are different building fronts, and it's. I wish there was a way I could draw this, but I don't think I could with my skill set. Imagine a multi-tiered, layered balcony system that kind of got wider and wider until you eventually hit the ceiling, which is just a domed top with a strip line of aurora light that just kind of glows down on the whole place. The light actually seems to reflect whatever the time of day is outside. so it still looks like daylight coming through in here. You can see
Okay.
the bottom. If you look straight down, which is where you're eventually going to head, you can see what seems to be a park with a spiral walk path that leads down the middle and some kind of sandy lawn that butts up against some kind of small kind of like a pool essentially. You go all the way down, you eventually find more doorways that lead out and down into like wood wall, carpet stair hallways. You eventually find yourself in the same position as Nonagon, where you're just kind of like in the back rooms. Eventually, you actually run into a person, both of you seeming somewhat lost and confused. Nonagon, describe your character.
Well, I am now. See, it's gonna look like I chose his height just to outshine everyone. I chose his height because I am a 5'2" short king in real life. So I wanted to be, I wanted somebody shorter than me. So Nonagon is 5'0", very short. He has a kind of like not shoulder length hair, but like it's like kind of shortish hair that is bleached blonde, and you can see some roots of brown showing through at the top of the head. So it happened relatively like long ago. And then
like
he's wearing a very yeah, a little less. Like it's actually kind of closer to the roots. But yeah, sort of like that. He's wearing kind of it's a little fancy outfit. It's like black, deep purple, and like a deep pink as well. And noticeably almost like split in half. One side is different from the other side, like in like style. It still is like a uniformed design, but it's like different on each side.
Percy,
Yeah.
you would notice that it resembles a Parthan attire. Uh, a Partha is under somewhat like scrutiny. Think like Germany after World War II. Like people of a Partha are looked at kind of like you did a bad thing. This person doesn't appear a Parthan in the features, but they're wearing Parthan attire or reminiscent of Parthan attire.
And how closely are you looking at Nonagon?
I think as soon as I saw, is it he, him, or
He, they. So
Okay.
either
yeah,
one.
I think as soon as I saw him like down the hall, maybe like 20 feet, I'd say, oh, thank fuck, another person finally. And I would approach.
As you get closer, you also notice that a little bit on the left side of his face, and he's wearing on the left side of his body, he's wearing kind of like shorts that like, so you can see also on his upper thigh. He appeared human at first glance, but as you get closer, you notice that there's like skin fraying away to reveal a metallic gold like me blinking on the words underneath essentially. Yeah.
Cool. I don't think like appearances tend to phase Percy. She's kind of been around, and most people don't look the way that she expects. So, hi there, hi, sir, or whoever you are. Do you have any idea where the fuck we are? I'm just trying to look for my room.
Well, it would be down that way. I assume there's a whole hallway that opens up into many hallways with different colors. So kind of back more where I just came from. If you just keep following this hallway, you'll find it.
You look at your key card and notice you're on like red carpet floors, and the key card is like blue. And you think, oh, I need to find blue carpet.
You know what? That actually explains a lot. I really appreciate your help. Do you work here?
No. I'm just a
Just a really
passenger,
helpful kind of person. Okay, well, nice to meet you. Been meeting a lot of colorful people today. I'll be going.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks. Likewise.
As you move past each other and are eventually out of sight, you feel this kind of tinge, this like feeling deep in the back of your mind that was important for some reason. You don't know why. That same feeling, Percy, that same feeling you got earlier when you ran into Lyre. That feeling that you felt again when you left Lyre's sight.
Interesting. Okay. I think she says that like aloud to herself. She just goes, interesting. And then she'll just keep going, trying to go on her original route, but definitely will be paying attention for that person in the future.
Oh God, no! Does no one gonna hear you say that?
Probably.
I don't know how good is Nonagon's hearing.
Nonagon, I'll give you the choice. If you want to have heard it, you can. If you want to leave it up to chance, make me a mental plus awareness check.
I'll leave it up to chance. We'll leave it up to.
We
The
love a
dice
gambling guy.
I would say likely not, just based on the roll. You said okay. That's 8.
8?
Yeah.
I'll say that was good enough to hear the person. It's not a whisper. They definitely said something outside. They announced some kind of intrigue. You don't know exactly what they said, but you heard them say something, and they said it with an inflection that indicates that they were intrigued by something.
Right. I am uncomfortable with that energy, and I'm also going to be keeping an eye on Percy.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Do you wanna follow Percy to her room?
No, more so in the way of I want to avoid her.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fair enough. I am like a head and a half taller than you, so that might have been natural anyway.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you are. You're 6'2".
Yeah.
As you, Percy, continue down the hall, looking for did I say blue carpet? Was it? Or
Yeah.
green?
Mhm.
Blue carpet. As you continue down the hall looking for this blue carpet, you eventually find it. You also find, is it Voyager? Outside of your room is a pile of boxes. Next to your room is it's an individual who's also loading boxes, just door ajar. You can see into their room. Their room is fucking huge inside, like bigger than the hallway. Like the room shouldn't fit in the space that it's in. You actually see inside of it, there's like stairs leading down into a lower level, a huge spiral globe in the middle of the room, and a bunch of other shit all over the place. You also can see this sort of strange static in the air in their room through their open door. And they are loading these boxes into their room and just setting it down, kind of sliding it. They are wearing very regal attire, with like a high collar, books slung around their waist, like more than just one, and a important looking crest in the center of their chest. They are vulpine. They look kind of like a fox person, with silvering hair and deep green eyes. And their hands are backwards. Their thumb's on the wrong side of their hand. They look up at you as you get to your room. Hello. Your boxes. They were just dropped off. You must be... Was it Master Arwen?
I would hope at this point I've looked at least a little bit at my passport. Is that what it says?
Yes.
Okay, good. Uh yeah, that's me. It's I guess we're roomies. It's nice to meet you.
He raises an eyebrow at you. I've read some of your work. That voyage, the one you went on, was it 2 summers ago? To
Some
the Dead
something
Sea?
like that, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
How'd you like the writing, the work?
Oh, I especially like the part where you describe your adventures, your meager little voyages. You painted yourself as, I'd say, somewhat different.
Yeah, well, even non-fiction is fiction in a way. You get a little offset, you get a little dreamy with what you'd like to portray yourself as, and well, I'm glad you liked it. Anyhow, this will be a bit different, I think, than my previous excursions, but you know,
I think
everything's a
you'll
journey in a way.
find this much more to your liking, Master Arwen.
And you are?
My name is Harlem.
All right. Nice to meet you, Harlem.
The pleasure's all mine, Arwen. Loads the last box
Okay.
up and closes the door.
Okay.
You and me are
Um,
gonna have a hell of a time on this ship.
Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting. I load the boxes in, and I'm also really curious about what's in them.
Okay. You open your room, and it is. You're like, expecting this extravagant room, just like the guy Harlem's room, the guy next to you. You open the door, and it's not. It's just like a regular like ship cabin room. You do actually have a port window though that looks outside of the ship, which is pretty cool.
Heck
It's like
yes.
a regular looking room. It's like big enough. I'd go ahead and say like probably like 900 square feet, and it's kind of like open floor plan, with a bed, a dresser, and a desk.
Hey, that's bigger than my last apartment, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly.
Just in comparison to the massive room that you had before. Um, yeah, yeah. You walk in, you start opening up those boxes.
Yep.
First box you pop open, you look into it, and it's books. The next one you pop open, it's cartography equipment. You have a cartography kit, books, and then you have another thing. It's like a globe, but it is suspended in like a wire frame, but it's floating in the center of the wire frame. The wire frame is kind of like twisted in an almost organic nature around the globe. Um, you find more than one of these depicting different planets.
You got some sweet ass decorations, man.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, I'd probably start sort of like not like decorating with them, but like you know how when you first move into a house you kind of put stuff like where you think it might end up going,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But I don't want to spend too long here because I do want to get to the gambling arena, and I'm like hours later than I wanted to be to do that. So
Okay, okay. You Oh, 1 second. Gotta write something down. All right. Yeah. You leave. Liar. You make your way onto the ship. You are here. Spread out before you is this massive, massive ship that's going to take you on another adventure and hopefully make you a very, very wealthy man. You look around at all of the other people, prospective individuals to whom you will eventually have to entertain. Um, to your left, you see the massive mast going straight up into the sky. Beyond that is a tall building that's kind of picking up through banisters and trees in different levels of the ship. You can kind of see it through different sails as you look. It's a twisted building. To your right, you can see curved staircases leading up, probably 50, maybe more feet straight up to overlooking balcony. You can actually see people looking over, and directly in front of you is the largest mid mast and a spread out kind of like a rocky cliffside and bridges that overlook. If you step up onto the bridges, you can see what it overlooks, but it kind of looks like a chasm at the moment.
I think most people will try to find, their stations or their rooms and stuff. So I think Liar would always likes to go to empty bars. He thinks it's fun. He thinks it's interesting, kind of ambiance. So he's gonna go try to find whatever tavern or bar is for this ship. Just chill there while everyone else is being frantic and stuff.
Okay. You find a couple of like stands, like people who have set up different stands, kind of hawking food. You do find as you kind of like look around, you do find. Actually, I'll tell you what you find after you make me a mental plus awareness check. What do you?
Yeah. It's a 10 on the die, and I've got some mental. That's 3, so 13.
13. You find a directory first and foremost. You see this directory. It is a basically like a stone pillar with a arcane print that's sort of floating off of the pillar, and it just kind of spins around. It's just a directory. You realize when you put your hands through it, you actually have seen these before. They use them at the Arcanum. You stick your hand in it, and you can slide it around and move it, shrink it, grow it. Basically, the Aurora interacts with your hands when you stick it in. It's basically a holographic touchscreen, but it feels tingly when you put your hands in it, and it just reeks of that metallic ozone, like that burnt ozone smell. Most other people can't smell that. It's something almost unique to Emberkin. Emberkin can smell magic.
Well,
yeah. You pass it around and just like move through it, and eventually you find where it is the mid deck, and you actually can see the layout of the mid deck. You go there. You find a couple of different taverns that are now starting to open up their front faces. There is the main restaurant of the establishment, and it is actually a relatively famed restaurant. They're famous for not having menus. You go in, you don't order anything, your food arrives to you, and it is always exactly what you wanted.
Gotcha. And the others are just kind of basic tavern bars.
A pub. It is actually just called a pub. A pub. They don't actually have a sign out front, and it's just one person as you walk past it, one person kind of like frantically running around as people start kind of clamoring in. There's only a few places open.
Why is it always only one person?
There's only a few places open yet, and there's a lot of people who have been.
Oh, damn it! There's a lot of people. I was hoping they'd be empty.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of empty places yet, because there's not enough places open to be empty. However, there are a few places that you noticed that didn't have a lot of foot traffic. Most of them being like shops and storefronts, and that little beach area over there has like the starting of a setup of what someone they seem to be building a small little stand over there, and it looks like they're going to start selling some kind of concoctions. It's over on that like little poolside beach area.
Okay, I'll head over there then.
Okay. The fastest way would be jumping off of this balcony and gliding down.
Then you know I'm doing it.
Yeah. People are looking at you, there's kids pointing at you and be like, "Mommy, what's wrong with his mug?" And you just keep on going down. You just glide away. Eventually, you land at the bottom. The wind gust just disperses the sand. It just kicks it up everywhere. There's a couple of beachgoers who are walking around and are like, as sand gets all over the place. And you land. You can see this guy who was building stuff. He looks up at you. Relatively large man with this thick red hair, a huge beard that's been braided into like a knot. He's got tattoos on his forehead, no eyebrows, really, really small, beady eyes, broad shoulders, and he's just building this little stand up, and he stops and he looks over at you.
I wave and I walk up towards him.
He looks at you and continues building.
I'm just gonna lean over his shoulder watching him build the thing. Not saying anything.
He's like building stuff and he stops. He looks up at you.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
God.
He swallows deeply. It is going pretty well, I would say.
Do you need a hand or got this or?
He's staring at you. I think I have this.
Interesting. What you selling? Or gonna sell, should say.
He points to a box. It's like a sealed, kind of like a see-through glass, kind of like a thick glass box with a wooden lid. Wood's been like nailed shut to it. It's going to be a stand for alcohol. Do you imbibe?
Ooh. Interesting. Do you have a staff in mind to man the station yet?
Was going to just be me, if you have.
Oh, I'm surprised. You're a real go-getter. I mean, being the business owner and the stand keeper, that's a lot of work for one guy. I think I could maybe help alleviate that load on you.
You do for no pay? All yours.
Oh, no, for pay. For pay, yes.
He looks at your lyre. Looks up at you again. You seem like interesting type. Like talk a lot type.
Definitely.
I'm not. If you make more money than me, sure. I pay you. Stay here.
So it's a game then. Interesting. I like it.
You talk better, make better drink, sure. Build stand next to mine. He tosses a bunch of wood in your
Oh, I have to build my own stand? Okay.
and he continues building his stand up.
How much time do I have?
Till I finish mine. You have till end of day.
I run off. I'm gonna go try to find the big lady and the robot that I met before to help me build my stand.
Good God, that's a very
Help
big
you
ship.
build your stand?
Also, I just looked. When I did that big entrance to the bar, it says I gain a +1 favor to all those who are in the bar, or faction favor or whatever.
Yeah.
So, what factions were in that bar that I should put down?
So it was it was an exotic dancing establishment. So the faction that you'll gain a one up with would be the faction that ran that establishment, which was I actually don't know if they are affiliated with any gangs or anything. So I would just say...
We could just put the name of the bar.
Yeah, the name of the bar, which I don't actually remember what it was.
Well, that means we get to name it.
Yeah, we can rename it. Let's call it. Let's give it.
Thinking goose, something goose.
You know what? I'm gonna go with. There's gonna be 3 words in the name, and we're gonna start with Percy. Percy, what's the first word in the name of this establishment?
Percy. Teresa.
Oh, the name of the establishment
The
of
first
like
word.
The first
word
of the name of the establishment.
You know you gotta go with the.
Yeah, you know what? Screw it. It's the.
The.
Okay.
And Cass, the second word.
I already know I'm going with goose.
The goose.
Goose.
And
The goose.
We're ending Nonagon. What's the last word?
Can it be 2 words?
You know what? Sure.
Is loose.
The goose is loose. Bar at the end. The goose is loose bar.
Yes.
Okay.
The Goose is Loose Tavern and Grill.
Bar and bistro.
One of the everyone who comes in asks, "Hey, like, what's the goose that's loose? Is that like a saying?" It is that every night
They let a goose loose.
11 o'clock on the dot, they let a goose loose into the bar area.
Which is a
If
beach.
you can catch it, you get free drinks for the rest of the rest
night,
of the
yeah.
week.
Yeah. But it's the same goose every night, and its name is Lucy.
There's only one goose in this entire airship, and we captured it, and it's the bar mascot.
Oh my god, I love it. All right, so Liar, you're gonna go look for two people in this really really big place, and you have no clue where they are.
Yes.
All right, cool. Cass, you are currently loading onto the ship with the medical staff. So you find yourself on the ship. You actually don't end up even getting to go up top. You actually stand on a teleporter pad that just teleports you into the ship from the medical station, and you get teleported pretty much directly into the infirmary of the ship, which is in the middle portion. But you don't really know that. You don't have a sense of direction yet. You're just kind of pop in the middle of the ship. So you are looking around at what looks like an exact replica of uh oh, how did I forget her name? Calloway's station. So Cass, you're looking around at the same room, but it feels different. You can tell you're in a different spot, but it's the same room.
Oh, that's freaky.
You look out beyond the main halls, and you see loads of people just kind of meandering about and going about their businesses, going about their days. It's actually kind of loud out there. As you look around, you are on the lowest tier as you look out of what looks like a multi-tiered balcony system. Directly in front of you is a massive what's the best? It's like a park. I would just call it a park. Directly in front of you is a park. You can hear the sound of like water from somewhere beyond it, and people are walking around, and some of them are wet, meaning that they've clearly like recently gone swimming. So you're here in this infirmary. Um, at the very front, have you ever seen Howl's Moving Castle?
Yes.
So you know that like dial thing that's at
Yes,
Howl's
yes.
front door? That same kind of mechanism is at the front door of this establishment. And uh, Calloway has already been talking while you're looking around, and you kind of start to tune in midway through her conversation as she's gesturing to it, and she says, "And this here, you use it, twist the dial, and the infirmary will be moved to a different location within the ship. We will move it around every so often and transfer the location. What will be left in its stead is one of you manning a smaller, less important infirmary station. I shall demonstrate. Which of you would like to volunteer to stay? Cass, do you raise your hand?
No, because I want to explore. So, like, I want to, like, Cass would want to see what all the people are doing. He's very curious. So, like, he would want the least amount of responsibility at the moment.
So you don't want to be left alone to man a station by yourself.
No.
Okay. Then another person eventually raises their hand, and she twists the dial. The room again feels the same. You just feel like you're in a different place. Looking out, you just get this really wild-looking blur of Aurora, and then as her hand stops on the dial, you hear click, click, click. It kind of fuzzes, and then you can see as the Aurora starts to fade and the fog starts to kind of lift, a completely different display in front of you. You are actually now looking at what kind of looks like the inside of a building. It's like a wooden wall and a hallway and people walking around in the hallway. Some people kind of like stop and like look quickly at that, and you hear them murmuring like, "Oh, it was different a second ago." No, it couldn't have been. It's got to be the same. Look, it says infirmary. It's an infirmary inside. Oh, I guess you're right. And then they keep walking. She does this a couple more times until you get the gist. This thing can kind of hop around the ship. You can teleport from this place so long as you have the key to log into the control panel and twist it, and you can teleport
Key?
to different locations on the ship.
Do I have a key?
Uh,
Does she give me one?
Calloway has a key. You do not. You could maybe ask for one.
She wouldn't give me one.
No, she wouldn't. Eventually, she divvies out the hours and gives you all like basically like an hour sheet, like your clock in times and when you have to come into work. It's arbitrary for roleplay sake, unless I actually want to roleplay you being at your job. Just know that like you are doing this on your off time.
Yeah.
You are going here. So you said you wanted to explore. So she will actually give you the first bit on yourself. She says she basically tells you to leave quickly. She's like, okay, go, Cass. You're done. Thank you for loading up. We will have a extensive training day for you later, but not right now.
I'm so excited.
Good, good. Go, run along, enjoy the ship, familiarize yourself. Here's a map of all of the places that the infirmary will be located, and the time at which it will be located at what place. And she hands you a pamphlet.
Oh, lovely. I love pamphlets. Thank you.
She nods. So, essentially, for all of you to know, the infirmary will be basically moved to any place of medical emergency. So, like, if a medical emergency is happening, the infirmary will move to the nearest place. It's not going to just hop around randomly for the most part, but there are scheduled times of, like, it's going to be busier here at this time. The infirmary will be in that location. What will be left behind is kind of like
it's like a triage area.
Yeah, like it's like a mock infirmary, like a nurse's office or something kind of simple that you could go in and have like your temperature taken.
So they can't do like surgeries, but they can help with like minor illnesses.
Exactly.
Yeah. General practitioner office.
Yeah, so like the larger
urgent care
teleports around, but
urgent
it's
care,
yeah, like a clinic.
That's handy.
Yeah.
So you'd probably hang out like near the pubs on a Friday night or something, just in case.
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
Especially because it's near a pool.
Yeah.
So, Cass, what's the first place you're gonna go?
Are we back to that middle story, like that middle story where I saw all the balconies and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay, what is everything? Is that the one that has like the mall and everything else?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you basically told me that the fucking arena looks like a goddamn soft serve ice cream. Where do you think I'm gonna go?
You're gonna go to the arena, big old spiral building. You're gonna go there. All right, cool. So you're gonna try to find your way to that big old spiral building. You run out there. As you run out, you start to feel this pulling in your soul, and for one tangible moment of strange and impossible clarity, you see tethers between people. Just everybody. For just a blink of a second, you see a bunch of people tethered to each other by this strange, impossible, intangible, it's not even real. Like, you know it's not real. They're all connected to each other. And from you see 5 threads branching off of you in random directions. One of them is going straight up. As you look up, you see that winged fool flying across the sky. And then it's gone. And at that, we are going to end the night.
Oh. I think I need to get my systems rechecked.
Wait, that was such a cute line.
All right. Did everybody have a good time? Did you guys?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. It sounds, I was not expecting like the scale and sort of like, I don't know, all of the cool stuff about the ship. Honestly, I was just thinking we would have like a regular ship. So yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like a whole fucking city.
Yeah.
Haven't you been to all of America before?
So you will be spending a good portion of time on this ship before we get. So this is like the first arc. The ship itself is the first arc of the game.
Ship arc.
Literally. It's an arc.
Yeah, it's literally an arc.
Oh my god, stop. I thought of the ship from WALL-E. Because it was like big enough to support a society.
Yep. It's because the idea is you guys in game time will be on this ship for probably like a year before you actually get to the other side.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to fast track it and fast forward through the time that you guys are going to be on here, giving you weeks or months of downtime in between different events and stuff that happen on the ship.
I was spending every single waking moment of that avoiding the winged fool.
I apologize for how little Nonagon was interacting with anything that you were putting out for him.
Okay.
He's in caution mode up until we achieve liftoff. At that point, he's gonna relax a lot more. But it's kind of just
The beginning of the next game will be the liftoff sequence. You'll basically hear
Heard.
announcements. I'll give you like a little. Here's what's happening next time on Dungeon Ball D. No, you guys are
A little PA announcement.
yeah, you'll get that. And the ship will begin to lift off, and you'll basically hear everybody saying, you won't feel anything, but the ship is lifting off. If you would like to visualize your experience, you may head to the top deck, and there is actually a lookout at the very, very front of the ship, which is the bow? The bow of the ship is actually a lookout for you guys to all look over. Or you could go to the top of the bridges that overlook the unnatural hot springs in the center of the ship. There's actually a hot spring in the center of the ship.
I just hope Kane doesn't hear about the fact that I accidentally apprehended a passenger.
He may or may not have already heard of it.
Sorry, liar.
It's fun. We'll see what happens.
I was gonna say, I'd like the way that Liar has played before has been mostly just like, you're like, all right, this might be interesting, and then it usually is, so.
Just go along with it, you know? Usually Destiny throws some weird shit in his direction.
Well, Cass is the type A, so like...
Yeah.
That'll be fun to fuck with.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, which of these characters would be the one who tries to get everyone together? And I'd assumed it would be Cass. No, it's Liar.
Liar is gonna get all of us together solely because he's just gonna hit on all of us and ask us all out on a date to the same place. He's gonna be like, "Oh shit! I thought I said different days.
That would
It's
be
the same day."
the most hilarious getting the party together episode.
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. I will say, and I don't want to give too much away, but the last time we played with Liar, when he had a romantic in-flight moment with somebody, there actually ended up being like a long-term relationship between them that was very emotionally distraught. So like, you're in for a whole time, Cass.
Wow, oh my god.
Episode 1?
Right off the bat.
The start of true love, perhaps?
Question mark?
So, is Cass a liar?
I know. I love though that Cass's immediate response is like, no, I'm avoiding that person forever now.
Cass has never been hit on before, and he never will again because he will avoid the fuck out of Liar.
Not a good experience for him.
Well, that's assuming no one else is gonna try and hit on Cass. Where's
That's
that
fair.
self-esteem?
You're right.
There's 2 robots on that
That's
ship.
true. You're a very good-looking robot.
Oh my god.
This is gonna sound off topic, but have any of you read Gideon the Ninth?
No.
I have not, but I've been wanting to.
Just 'cause-
I think I've read like the first 3 chapters.
It's a good series. The first like third of the first book is kind of a slog to get through, but the rest of it's good. But I was gonna say, Nonagon's name keeps making me think of the secondary character in that book, and I
Oh my
kind
God.
of based
Is
Percy
there a character in
on
that named
Gideon.
Nonagon?
So it's a lady, and her name is Nona, but
Hey, when I was naming Nonagon, I had reasons for it, that are unrelated to any fictional characters, but the entire time I was naming him, I was like, this name sounds so familiar, and not because it is the, like, term for a 9-sided shape. I was like, I swear to God, I've heard of fictional characters with this name before. And that, like, Nona, like, I've,
well, and it's great
that
because
sounds like
she's
right.
Nona of the 9th house, so it's
Mhm.
kind of yeah.
Yeah, and then I was talking to a coworker, and he was like, I swear to God, there's somebody in one of my favorite book series, the Stormlight Archives, that's named Nonagon. I have not confirmed that yet, and he
Really?
also wasn't sure, but it was just weird.
Because I've read this Romite series.
Yeah, I don't
What a
remember.
nerd.
There's a lot of names that end in Agon, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think
Mhm.
it's a-
At least fucking 20,000 of them in that goddamn
Yeah,
book.
I started reading it. I'm like 3 chapters in, and I was really taken in by Zeth, which was just
Yeah.
Seth,
Zoro.
but with a Z in it.
Yeah.
I thought, although actually I really liked him, and then like I turned the page to the next chapter, and it was like here's another fucking person that like is just new, and I was like, wait, but I want to read more about this guy. Although the new person's interesting too. So
Honestly, my favorite character is Dalinar's son. I thought I was gonna hate him, but like as it keeps on going, like I really like his character a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's his name?
Don't ask me. I fucking suck at names.
I know who Dalinar is. I did not know he had a son, so that's
You
news
do.
to me.
Yeah, spoilers, Dylan.
It's not spoilers. I think the
Yeah,
son's
I'm like
introduced
3
before
chapters
he
in.
is.
Yeah, he's 3 chapters in.
Oh! I didn't know you were only 3 chapters in. Okay.
Well, if everybody's reading it, then I've definitely heard of this series. Yeah.
It's really, really good. The writing is well
See,
done.
my first instinct was to be like, I have the book. Do you want to borrow it? And then I was like, wait a fucking minute.
Yeah, my
No,
coworker is
I'm very into
really into it.
audiobooks. I have a hard time with physical reading. Just
I'm
ADD.
the exact opposite because
That's
I
how
can't
I.
books because I can't focus on them.
Same. I'm doing too much other things. I need someone to be reading it to me in my head, and they need.
If I'm playing like a mindless game, like a lot of times when I'm mapping in Guild Wars 2, that was how I started listening to like Gideon the Ninth, like that series. It was because I was just like mindlessly mapping, and I was like, I want something in the background that isn't music, because I'm not feeling like music right now. So
I have another
Sure.
another book you guys might like if you like the Stormlight Archives, especially you, Trinity. I think you'd really like this series. It's called the King Killer Chronicles. If you've heard of it,
Yes, I have, and I have it on Amazon, and I haven't read it yet.
it's probably, I would argue that it's better than a Stormlight Archives. The magic system
Strong
is
claim.
even cooler than the one in Stormlight. Like Stormlight system is a really cool magic system, but the
Oh.
the King Killer Chronicles uses science as a base for their magic, and it is so
Yes.
well done.
Dylan.
Yeah.
oh, is that King
I've
Killer
heard of this one
as
as
in
well.
like? Okay, that was not
Yeah.
what I thought. I thought you were saying like the King Killer, and I was like, is that
No.
like
King-
kink as in like?
King Killer. No.
The very kinky chronicles.
There's something I want to talk to you about after stream.
Damn.
Okay.
They got a dude with his tits out on the cover. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a fucking bear in the background.
That's pretty good. Anyway,
Yeah,
the main
that's
reason
what
I
I'm about.
Trinity, what do you think bears look like?
No, in the Dylan's background, the fucking bear.
Oh, Dylan's background. I thought you were talking about.
Oh, you're talking
Book
about
cover.
I forgot that was there.
Yeah, the BDSM Care Bear that we were talking about earlier.
My boyfriend put that up there because it was for a planter, and then he just ended up putting a.
The BDSM Care Bear. It's gonna be part of our merch now.
honestly, I think it's perfect. Keep it there.
That's what, Teddy. That's what you were talking about a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay, now okay.
Well, so the main reason I brought it up, Trinity, is I kind of based Percy's character on Gideon from that series, and I was like, if you base Nonagon on Nona, then this is gonna get interesting. But no, so
I
that's
don't
okay.
believe I did because I don't know much about Nona because I don't think I got far enough to where.
No,
you
you're
would
so far Nonagon is much
confused.
more likable, so it's okay.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I did hear that people didn't love Nona.
Really quick.
They have.
I've hit my like time limit on the stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream really quick. Thank you guys for watching, and if you've watched our little banter at the end, also thank you. And whoever's watching this later, or like watching this is like the first time, but we've got like more episodes coming out. We will be releasing episodes every Sunday, and then we will be re-releasing them. I think we're only doing 2 a month, so we're doing it every other week, dropping them on YouTube, so you can catch up on YouTube. But we will be live streaming every Sunday at 7:30 to 7:45, or every other Sunday. But we'll make announcements if we're going to not do a session. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and thanks for enjoying our Fateless game. Bye bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.